one. Perfect. Welcome to everyone. Welcome in. Oh, I gotta move some stuff around. Whoopsies. Not that stuff. Hold on. Hold on. I have to change up the whole format, y'all, because of the thingamajiggy. So let me just readjust some stuff over here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's get that. Perfect. We should be straight. Everything should be straight. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome into this stream. What a week we've had, huh? What a week we've had. Goodness gracious. Welcome in. Welcome in. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys, thems, and everyone on the political spectrum, welcome into the live. We are not running Defending Defensible today. I think we've had some contentious days there for the last week. So we're going to try something different, bringing back this topic to encourage more thoughtful, engaging conversations. Welcome in, TubeSide. Welcome into the stream. Make sure that you guys hit the like button at the bottom there. Make sure we hit that button. I'm not sure if this is... It keeps notifying me we're live. It should be running, unless there's something that I didn't do. Best site and sex and live streaming TV. Dismiss. It should be good. It should be good. Connect streaming software. Oh, that's what I did not do. I did not connect. So those of you on the tube side, we are live. You just got to go over there. Hold on. Live. I just gotta delete this. This is exactly why I didn't want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. I'm just gonna back out of this one. Go to the other stream. Go to the other stream because I'm literally live and it's not doing the thing. It's not doing the thing. Anti cases. The purpose of this live is to, as I said, engage with all sides of the political spectrum in a more preferably civil manner. Any questions that you may have about our process, you may ask them to myself, and I'll do my best to give you an answer. That is the goal of this live. So we will see. If you are someone on the side of the left and you had a question about any candidate or elections, voting in your area, maybe you're someone on the MAGA side and you wanted to know why we like socialism. I don't know. Whatever your question is, you may request up or have it answered, or better yet, you can call in the number on the screen if you're over on the tube side, 737-295-5321. But hold off on that for a second because it looks like we do have a guest. Continue to tap the screen, guys, to get the likes. Oh, we did hit 5K W's. Let's get the likes up to 25K next. Continue to knock out these little 1-cent gift goals. Send your daily heartbeats if you have not already. And let's get this conversation going. Trustable Dude, is that your username?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Got a question for me?
Okay, so my question inherently is, what do you think of the, Green Party? I'm just curious.
What I think about the Green Party, I think inherently the Green Party is fine. I think I can look at the average Green Party candidate and find more in common than anyone on the Democratic side. However, the Green Party is dead.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of one big criticism that I would have for any Green Party candidate or the party as a whole. I think they can do a lot more when it comes to actual building up of a party and getting some capital so that they can actually challenge the main ones. Until then, it's just something that takes away from votes that can actually give us some progress.
I agree literally with everything you're saying. As someone who loves the Green Party, and I personally think they could do a lot good for our country, they do need to do better if they want to do anything. You know what I mean?
They only show up during election years. That's the vexing part for me. They literally only show up during election years. And I'm like, there's a whole lot of work you'd have to do beforehand, all the way up to. You could be a Green Party candidate right now, particularly with social media. You can start building your platform now. Hey, I want to run in this election, but you know what we need to do. The Electoral College, the corporate PACs, blah, blah, blah. Let's start now. Let's start campaigning now. Via social media. And then, especially with this being a midterms year, you can really put yourself out there. And then, bam, you have a setting for the next 2 years to ride into the 2028 election. But they don't do that.
Exactly.
They just fucking disappear. They just disappear. And I'm like, why?
It is saddening to see because I feel like they could do a lot of good.
Yeah.
That runs into my second question. Do you think we should ban we should ban corporate stock trading in Congress.
Oh, 6,000%. There's been a couple bills introduced to do that,
Yeah, there's been
actually.
bills that have been being discussed,
Mm.
and I fully agree. I personally I think it needs to be banned. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yes, I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out something over here on the YouTube side.
No, yeah, of
I don't
course.
know how to delete this other stream. Apparently, I was supposed to add other shit to it that I didn't do, and now I don't know how to delete it. But if you're
That
over on the
so
YouTube
like
side,
you're streaming on two sides?
I scheduled one, but I didn't add everything to the schedule one, so it's showing that I have one pending while I'm currently live. I shouldn't have done this today.
Weird.
Anyway, yeah, it's pretty obvious. We don't need anyone in Congress to participate in that. That's not your role. You should be serving the people, not finding ways to enrich yourself. Now, I understand you need capital to do a lot of things, but there are different ways to go about it without you having that kind of insider trading and knowledge,
Mhm.
which ultimately makes you more of a corporate shill than someone working for the government, which is for the people.
God bless you.
Thank you, Swan, for the bubbly kiss. I appreciate you. Big W's to you.
Yeah, and thank you. That's the only two questions I really had.
Yeah,
Love your energy, by the way.
you caught me on a good day. I appreciate you coming up, man.
Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day.
Right, you as well.
All right.
How long do we think we're gonna keep that civil energy? Y'all know me. I'm just waiting for someone to come up and crash out. Y'all know me. But great conversation. Yes, 6,000. My mic is that should be good. Is that good? That should be good. But yeah, I don't know how to delete this other stupid stream. I don't know how to do that. So whatever. Whoopsies. We're live on the tube side, guys. So just go over to the other one. Anti cases. If you are on either side of the political spectrum and you have a question for me, you may request up in the box. You are the demographic of people that I want to have a conversation with. Better yet, if you are over on the tube side, you may call in the number on screen, 737-295-5321. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty obvious thing. I don't know of anyone who thinks that they shouldn't be banned from insider trading personally. Thank you, Mighty Pen, for the 50 jewels. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know of anyone who disagrees with that. I hope no one disagrees with that. Does anyone have a contention with that, really?
I don't know. I just came for the tube thing. Go to studio and
Go to studio.
mm-hmm,
Okay. I'm there.
Swan. Okay, studio, and then go to your content, and then click on live.
Okay. Oh, I see the upcoming
You see
one.
it, and then delete it. Hey, Sean.
Perfect.
Shauna.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Let's say that.
I'll figure out how to actually. Apparently, I'm supposed to like hook up links and software. I didn't do any of that shit. So.
No, you don't have to do all none of that because you're running it through OBS. You don't have to do any of that nonsense.
But it's
You
still
just have
showing
to.
up.
Yeah, but don't you just did you delete it?
Um, hold on. I selected the wrong one.
Oh my God.
There we go. The
Okay.
scheduled one is what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah, delete the scheduled one.
so that's what you do every time you schedule it and then you delete it.
No, no, no.
But that's what I'm saying. I got to go
You
through the software.
no. So no. So when you schedule it, right, what happens is because you're connected to it on OBS, when you start your stream, dual streaming via OBS, what you do is you select that broadcast. I can show you better than I can tell you. You select the broadcast and then you do the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have time, I can definitely walk you through it.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that after.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm out. Y'all have fun now.
Later.
And if he's a progressive, guys. Come ask him questions, whether you agree with being a progressive or not. Come ask questions and keep doing all the good things. Bye.
Bye. Debbie said chat to Erica. Another reason why I want to do this live today is because we've had quite a bit of people, friendlies, trying to request stuff and talk and stuff. And as you guys know, when I'm running the show specifically, defending indefensible, that's not the time for that. So the cool thing about this live, it is a bit more encouraging for all groups and for mutuals and whatnot to also say their piece as well. But to be clear, we do still want to focus on the questions. I'm just going to be a bit more friendlier to people who agree with me requesting on up. So that is that. But yeah, if you're a leftist, progressive, Democrat, moderate, Republican, far right, white supremacist. No, not the last part, please. Not the last part, please. You may call in the number on screen, 737-295-5321, or request up in the box over here on the TikTok side if you have a question for me. I remember the last time we did this, I had a guy come up and what did he ask me? What did he ask me? He said, "What good does it serve you as a black man to vote Democrat?" That was a serious question that a person asked me. Needless to say, God bless you. He was white. W's Nishan for the blow bubbles. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I was like, huh? The funny thing about that question is when you ask it in reverse, what good does it serve you to be black and vote Republican? The answers are really weird, or the non-answers even are extremely strange. Like, for one, basically it all comes down to not being a sheep or whatever. And I'm like, so then you would be implying that we've been voting Democrat and getting nothing from it, which would be objectively false. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But yeah, any forms of questions is exactly what we're doing today. We do have someone in the box. Let me get them on up.
Hello.
Some dude, are you over the age of 18 or 18 above? I should
Yes.
be asking that to be starting because we have some minors in here. Alrighty, got a question for me?
Yeah. So I'm a moderate, right? Moderate, right-leaning. I voted for Joe Biden in 2020, Trump in 2024, right? Do you believe that specifically the far left, just like it is a problem with the far right, the far left is causing a lot of upheaval within your own organization, or do you think that they're a benefit? Because I believe they are a detriment to what's going on in the Democratic Party.
I agree. I think the issue is what you would define as far left versus what I would define as far left. When I think of far left, one example I can give are these purity tests that we often do with people on our side. While Republicans fall in line, we nitpick. And then ultimately we can't get any candidate to move us forward, even in the slightest bit. That would be one of my definitions of the far left. I personally never mind. I won't say that part. I think there's aspects of communism or people wanting communism that can be considered far left. Not that I necessarily think communism is inherently a bad thing. I'm just not for it. Mm-hmm. But then again, that would be what I would consider far left. What would you consider far left?
Yeah, I agree with your statement. Communists, people who believe that, taxes should be around 70-80%.
I don't think that's communist.
Well, I'm not saying, there are individuals on the far left who are not communists who do want taxes to rise to that amount of money to, distribute that wealth through the population.
Well,
right?
that would be a specific demographic. That's what they'd be advocating for. Because to be fair, that's exactly what it was during the time when the middle class was doing a little bit better.
Oh, no. I totally agree with that. I'm talking about, okay, so when it comes to you, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just added something. Go ahead.
When it comes to universal basic wages, UBI in the future, I believe that taxes will have to rise because of that. But individuals, I've spoken to in the past, say like individuals who are making over $100,000 a year, when that is implicated, will have to be taxed over 80% of their wages, right? It's like those individuals to me are the far left. They're individuals who believe that, taxation will be the all in all cure to the poverty issue. I disagree. I think that even if, artificial intelligence does take over a lot of jobs, that humans will still have a big part of that, and that those wages being taken from those individuals who are having a big part of the benefit of the society should not be taken away.
So when you're talking about an 80% taxation, are you talking broadly again, or are we talking about that 80% on particularly the 1% in corporations?
Oh no, with the 1%, like people make $100,000 a year above, right? That's not the 1%. That's like the top 30%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I disagree with that. But when it comes to like the top 1%, if it comes to like that 80% mark, especially if UBI is implemented, I'm totally fine with that. Because, and here's the thing, this is also another issue when it comes to UBI. A lot of these top 1% individuals already pay less taxes than your average American due to long-term capital gains, right? They just throw their money in the stock market, they wait 11 years, and then they take it out for 11% tax instead of like, you know, other individuals who, work their butt off and then get taxed, 20, 30% of their wages.
Did you say, because I'm trying to make sure I'm clear on what you were saying. You mentioned that you believe that the far left is doing damage, which I would agree with you.
Hmm.
And then I guess one of the aspects of far leftism you would say is universal basic income.
No,
Okay,
I
that's
think
what.
it's the idea that, like, if you are an individual in a society and you're producing to that society and, you're making a decent income of that, like, let's say 100,000, 80K or above, like, I don't think those people should be taxed like 80, 70% of their income. And I had this whole argument with someone from the far left that tried to justify it, but I destroyed them, to be honest, because it doesn't make sense. It's not beneficial for the economy.
I don't know of anyone. And again, I guess that would be your sector and whoever you've
Yeah,
spoken
it's
to. I
it's
don't.
a total anecdotal argument. So, like,
Got you.
completely ignore it if you want to.
No, yeah, I just I think that's nonsensical. If specifically we're talking about people in the 100,000 bracket, I think that
Yeah.
is that's excessive. Um, Versus more so, again, I have no problem with the improvements on four or 500,000 or more, a million or more, sure. But even then, I still wouldn't say 80% on someone who makes $1 million.
Oh yeah. I agree. Like, I also believe that our tax bracket needs to change. What is it that it's like if you make over what's the number? 400,000, it's around 40% and that's the cutoff.
Mm.
Please, I'd like to see it in the comments if anyone knows this, but I think that's a bit low personally, but does that make me far left? No. Does that make me sensible? Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
The problem with that though is individuals are just gonna, thwart that, right? And they're gonna go directly to stocks. They're gonna put their wages into stocks, and with that, they just wait 11 years, and that salary's taxed 11%. Plus, with that, the wealth that they put in those stocks are going to gradually increase year over year.
true.
It's tough, man. Like, how are we ever going to actually change the tax system to actually benefit the United States citizens instead of benefiting the large multinational corporations who have a stranglehold on our wages? Like, if you look at wages in the past 60 years, they haven't really increased versus the CXO wages have increased sevenfold.
Yeah, that's going to involve that's going to involve an entire revamp of Congress. For starters, we're going to
Yeah.
need to see a lot more DSA members in there represented versus just more establishment Democrats, just for starters. And we're definitely going to need
Hmm.
to see, in my personal opinion, people implementing policies such as Zohar Mamdani. We need to see more of them in Congress as well because he's able to do what he's doing in his pocket of a safe, nice blue New York
Yeah.
City, but that's not going to be represented broadly until we get more people in Congress. So, yeah,
I totally agree.
in regards to, I guess, if we were to say that far leftism is someone who thinks if you make 100,000 a year, you should get taxed 80%. Sure,
It's
I
ridiculous.
think they're batshit. I think
Yeah.
they're batshit. But yeah, we don't really have a disagreement, man. Is there anything else you had?
No, I like the beard, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You take it easy.
Peace out, bro.
Jared, what's up, man? Guys, continue to tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 50K and then onward. Remember the request up in the box, which I do see a couple people in here. Let me get you up. But yeah, Jared, what's up, man?
What's up, Hector? Just kind of a little bit to talk to you about.
Okay.
So first is regarding the fun process of primaries. So I'm out here in Illinois, and I went through the Track APEC website and discovered that every single senator and congressperson in Illinois has received money from them,
Mhm.
including the top two senators, Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth, who's done um, a lot of staunch opposition to Trump. Um, I'm not, I can't figure out how to process that and how, and it's just like I don't want to support anyone that I feel like I don't want to support anyone that receives money from APEC, but um, I don't know if I have many options.
So, this is where y'all really not going to like what I have to say, or at least some of you, you don't. I think that if you're going to give me an option between a little bit of progress versus none at all, I'm going to choose progress every time. At the end of the day, in these races, we're still going to have either in some districts, two Democrats running against each other. One could have better to offer versus a Democrat running against a Republican. And yes, I will confidently tell you to vote for the Democrat every damn time. APAC is a serious issue. If you have candidates that are doing well in their race and they have a chance of winning and they're not taking APAC, yes, by all means, get them up out of there. We have Elizabeth Warren retiring, and several other individuals in other races who their seats are up for grabs. So yeah, if you have a candidate that's not taking APAC, go for the APAC candidate. But if you have every single one of them taking APAC money, they're still better than a Republican because they take it too and they fuck us over.
True. Fortunately, in my district, our actual congressperson, Nikki Budzinski, she's sided with Trump and on a few things. So that's an easy decision for me because she has an opponent that will not and refuses to accept anything. So hopefully I can help in primarying her out of there.
There you go.
But yeah, that's helpful. Helpful way to think about it. But I also had another kind of general political question for you, because we have kind of a similar background.
Two milk duds? Well, you wouldn't be a milk dud, I guess.
Well, hairlines, yes, but so I've had an interesting experience where I was raised in a multi-religious home and liberal, but got pulled into a conservative evangelical church.
We do not have the
And
same background, sir. What?
I thought you were.
No, I was raised. So first off, my folks are non-political, but I was definitely raised more so conservative. And then when I became of age, I became MAGA, and then I started dropping that shit 2021 onwards.
Okay, and sorry if there's an echo. My headphones literally just died, so I'm on my phone.
Sounds better now,
Um,
actually.
oh well, damn! I need a better mic then. Um, but I guess I was when I left the conservative church, I I went from conservative to liberal. And did you experience any like overcompensation? Because I feel like I went super, super, super overcompensation, performative to react to correct what
On the left side,
yeah, I correct my conservative, and now I'm finding myself redirecting. I'm still a lot more leftist than I was before, but I'm not like trying to make up for the way I used to think, kind of thing. I don't know if you've experienced that at all in your in growing up political in your political experiences.
so no, really quickly, because Erica brought up a very good point. It's not just APAC; there are shield companies with their kind of APAC subsidies. That's what we see with the likes of individuals like here in Texas, James Tallarico,
Yeah.
right? Where people lied and said Jasmine Crockett took APAC money when she didn't. But then, her votes on Israel funding and stuff, they used to demonize her. Meanwhile, James Tallarico can get away with all the corporate PACs that he
Yeah.
deals with and individuals that are directly related to APAC that support him. So it's super contradictory. But anyways, also, never mind. Okay, so in my experience, no. I've never felt any position to like aggressively course correct. If anything, people like criticize me for saying that I'm not like progressive or left enough. Like I supported things like S4361, not because I think it was the greatest border bill known to man, because it was the best that we had on the table, and ultimately would have helped fast track the process to get legal immigrants in here and to better treat them versus nothing at all. And then Trump is now doing the bullshit that he's doing. So it's stuff like that where I never would say I found myself trying to overcorrect for being conservative. I was always pretty cautious and guarding because ultimately I came into this side of the aisle with a distrust for the left, one that I still have today with a large portion of them and the shit that they say. But ultimately, we're on the same team, and I just want people to have better lives. I just want people to have better lives. I want people to, have the civil rights, equal civil rights. I want the government to work for us because that's what we pay them to
Yeah.
do with our taxes. And I think we can all universally agree on that.
Now I will mention I agree. My deconstruction actually started before Trump was, voted in, thankfully. So I was ready to push back on all of that. But I don't know, it's just like you and Erica and a lot of people are helping me kind of deconstruct even more. And I was just curious, if you experienced that at
Yeah.
all.
Now there
But
is a
obviously,
cautionary. Oh,
I
sorry.
was I was confused about. I thought we were both in an evangelical church and left, so I apologize for that.
No, no, I was, but I'm saying you said. Hold on, I may have got it mixed up. So, um, yes, I grew up very religious, super religious. But I would say again, it wouldn't. There was a separation from the politics though, because my folks are still not
Okay.
political. But I
Yeah.
grew up super duper Christian, and then that kind
Yeah.
of somewhat led into MAGA because I thought Republicans MAGA was the Christian party, which is a load of crap. And then from there, I just started to put away that. And again, obviously, I still respect people in the religions. Just actually interpret your book the way it's supposed to be
Yeah.
interpreted. But yeah, that's essentially how it went for me. So we have that similarity, yes. But
Okay.
there is a cautionary tale in what you said, and I think it's super important, especially for white liberals, white leftists, to hear this. I do think a lot of people, upon learning the information that we have on our aisle, try to do exactly what you just did. And
Yep.
often for white people, that turns into like a very disgusting form of white guilt and white overcompensation, to where you're like the cringy person in the room, where maybe some black people are talking about their favorite rap music and you just go, yeah, Tupac, that guy's super cool. You're right. You just try to, like, you just try
When
to,
I was younger, yeah,
yeah.
in my early 20s, yeah, but now I'm more like a Tribe Called Quest. But no, no, that's, and I think it's just and it's not even intentional.
Tupac is
I
wild,
don't,
Erica.
but I cannot tell you how many times I've heard Tupac in white Central Illinois. It's it's ridiculous. But
I want to hear
I
more
just
about
wanted
that. Oh, are you getting ready to drop?
no. What do you want to know?
Uh, Give me a second. Give me a second, because T
Yeah.
Bone has been waiting up here for a bit. T Bone, you there?
Oh yeah, yep, I'm
Yes.
here.
You have a question for me?
Um, what is your view on leaders we deserve?
What is my view on leaders we deserve? We
It's
deserve
actually
them?
oh no. Well, let me bring you up to speed. This is actually the group that supported Mondami.
Oh,
This is
okay.
also the group that supported McAfee, who just won the House of Representatives seat in Texas.
Correct.
Yeah, they have an entire roster. They are considered more progressive of candidates for 2026. And they are working out a list of a roster of candidates for 2027, I believe. Yeah. So they if you look them up, Leaders We Deserve, they have their roster of people in multiple states. They are more progressive. They're not hardcore liberal. They're not hardcore left. And I'm finding when I look up their backgrounds, they've got this is set up by David Hogg, the guy they kicked out of the Democratic Recruitment Party.
Mm.
Yeah, they kicked him out last February, and he said, "You're going to regret kicking me out." And he's proven you should have kept me in the tent because he has found some very interesting candidates, strong candidates.
So, I will say this now that you mentioned David Hogg. I want to start off by saying I am not the most informed on specifically how he ended up getting ousted. Because on one hand, there was the media coverage that, oh, he was a young guy trying to end the establishment and the corruption, and that's what they didn't like. On the other hand, I heard he was just an arrogant, contentious white boy who didn't understand how things worked. So, based off of just hearing both sides, and I haven't done my own personal research, I would only caution his involvement in it just because I don't know the full details of what came about. But I do intend to look into it. Like you said, if he was with Mamdani and whatnot, it sounds like a good thing. But I also do have this issue with a certain level of someone to be considered left or progressive trying to jump the gun and it kind of do too much, because I do think that can harm us in the long term, especially when it comes to our electoral college. But yeah, I'll look into it for sure. I did make sure I put a note here in the Discord, so I'll look into that.
He, and he reminds me somewhat of Jasmine Crockett when she first got in there. He speaks straight out, He told them some of these old blankety blanks need to get their butt up out of here. They've earned their money. It's time for new blood to come in, and they should have been training them to come in and assume their position. That was the beef that wound up getting him kicked out.
Interesting. I do want to address this comment here because I find it fascinating. And this is actually one of the issues I would have more so, not with David Hogg, but the people I've heard talk about him. Describing a Parkland victim like that is not the flex that you think. One, I don't know why you thought I was trying to flex. And two, nothing I said about his political positions or what may have happened in his direct involvement with the seat he was going for has shit to do with Parkland. So that was a weird point to make up. Like, you just tried to use his trauma and his experience as a reason to say that I couldn't talk about the two sides of the argument I've heard in regards to how he got ousted. I literally opened up by saying I'm not the most informed with exactly what happened, and I mentioned both sides. But someone decided to make a victim argument in the comments, and that was quite pathetic. I just want to let you know, that pathetic person in the comments. Okay, back to you.
Real quick,
Yes.
I'm gonna drop, but thank you so much. I love your live. It's just a matter of, we do need more young people, because if we watch the right side, they're cultivating people to come in, right down to McConnell should have been gone, and if he could have gotten his that young man from Kentucky in there a couple of years ago, he would be gone now. That's
Didn't
the
that
only
man
reason
fall
this man's
recently?
hanging on. When?
I think
Every day.
I think he fell recently again. Hold on. Let me double check this. It's about 2 weeks ago. Not fell. He was hospitalized again. He had flu-like symptoms. It's about 2 weeks ago. 4 days ago, he was discharged. Okay. Yeah. Some of these people need to be in nursing homes, and we need to get a fresh start. Absolutely. But yes, I appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Thank you for having me up.
And I'm going to look into the, what did you say it was?
Leaders we deserve.
Leaders we deserve. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Reasonable 2020. Got a question for me?
Yeah. So Israel, Palestine.
Okay.
Just a series of questions. I'm not interested in monologuing. And genuinely interested in understanding your position and where you're coming from. So if you're happy, I'll just ask you questions and I'll listen to your response.
Sure.
Where do you stand? Do you have, just what's your position?
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Okay. And would you view, I think I can say their names, the various groups in that area that are pro-Palestinian, such as and the one in Gaza. I can say their names, I think. I don't want to break the
Are we talking about Hamas?
Yep, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis. How would you view those groups?
I would view them as terrorist groups.
Okay, so that's interesting. I'm glad to hear that. And what would your position be then on from the river to the sea? What do you understand by that? What does it mean to you?
I think Palestine should be free. I think the argument always comes about how that would happen. When I voted for Kamala Harris in 2024, she was running off of giving them a two-state solution, which, in my personal opinion, isn't enough, but it's the best that they can have, where both places can get their statehood and sovereignty. In a perfect world, they can get more than that. But it's America and Israel. We're never going to be able to get the rest of the world on board with
I've always
Palestine.
been in favor of two-state solution myself. How would you view the Iranian revolution?
When it comes to that, it's from what I know of it, there are just like a younger group, a younger party trying to take over. We've seen the protests out there, and the establishment is killing them off for it. I don't really know all of the intentions behind the younger Iranians that are trying to take over. I guess it would be better than what they currently have. So I mean, kudos to them.
Okay, if you give me 20 seconds, I can give you a quick summary for Iran that you could take away with you. So I'm not lecturing at you, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to let you know. Using the Iranian government's own figures, 2025, of the 70,000 mosques in the country, 50,000 shut. So you now have about 80%, based on government's own data, of the population has left Islam. The country is run by Arabs, but the population is Persian. So the revolution that you're seeing occurring is an anti-Islam, anti-Arab revolution. And it's also an anti-left-wing revolution, because the political left under Democrats under Carter and the socialists within Iran were the ones responsible for the 1979 revolution. They allied themselves with the Islamists, as they have done repeatedly across the West, and took over the society.
So you're saying the protesters in the Iranian Revolution is, you said, is anti-left?
Yes, it's explicitly anti-left. They are not, if you speak to the Iranians on the lives here, including some who have been broadcasting from Iran, they are apps. I can't even begin to describe. The words I'd use would get me banned off this app, what they think about the left. They blame the left, correctly, for bringing in the Islamists into power in 79. Because the socialists and the Marxists allied themselves with the Islamists to take over and throw out the Shah, who was the king, which is why they are calling for the return of his grandson. They say Javed Shah. There is no left wing within this revolution. It is a center-right revolution.
So when I reference left wing, I more so talking about more left than what they currently have. I'm not, to be abundantly clear, I do not know the intricate details of Iranian politics and everything going on.
They're a left-wing society.
But I was unaware of, I guess, like you referenced, like the protesters. To my knowledge, I thought they were protesting for one of the individuals, such as the grandson, because they wanted to move a bit more from the authoritarian regime that they were looking at.
Oh no, it's way worse than that. You're looking at the systems. Once this revolution goes through, it will be the least Islamic country in the Middle East, arguably on the planet. That's how so little of the population have. How much of the population have abandoned Islam. They have a visceral hatred towards Islam. I can't even begin to couch how much hatred they have towards the political left and Islam, because of what was brought in 1979 and what it's done to that society. You should just go. Please don't take my word for it. Go onto the Iranian lives, like Free Iran. You can go to them. There's a whole bunch of them, and you can talk and listen to them and hear what they're saying. And they are. God bless you. They're talking about a 50-year project of hunting down everyone who supported the regime.
So
unaliving.
You mentioned
bring justice.
You mentioned that they blame the left. I guess the left of the West, the American left.
Well, it was the socialists and it was explicitly in the 79 revolution. If you look back at the history, this is what I'm saying is not even controversial. The political left in Iran disliked the Shah because he was right on the right-hand side, and they allied themselves with the French government and with the Americans, specifically under Carter, and they overthrew the government. They made various claims that they would, sell oil under preferential terms to the Americans. Carter told the Iranian military, who were right-wing but nationalists, to stand down and to not oppose the revolution. So that it went ahead, and then obviously it's played out how it's played out. So. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I'll finish with this little point. They are incredibly pro-Israel. I haven't found a single Iranian on this app or in my day-to-day life, and I know a whole bunch of them in the UK, who are anti-Israel. They're overwhelmingly pro-Israel. Well, I know one. I do know one. And what they're talking about on the lives here and on other social media platforms is explicitly allying themselves with the Israelis and running the Middle East. I think that's what's going to happen, given how powerful Iran is, culturally and resource-wise and so on.
I'm reading about some of this here. Would you say that we can't talk about 1979 without at least talking about 1953?
Oh, yeah, Mossadegh. So Mossadegh, the prime minister, was appointed by the Shah. And the reason there was a coup is Mossadegh was allying himself with the Americans and various other groups. And he was selling oil at terms which weren't, good. And the Shah intervened and said that Iranian oil is for Iranians because he was a nationalist. And that led to Mosaddegh going to correction. I don't mean the Americans, I was incorrect. He was selling it to the Russians because Mosaddegh was a Russian agent, his Russian asset, correction.
Interesting. Okay. Like I said, I'm not the most familiar with this. I did a little bit of a.
I didn't come up to go at you or attack you or anything. I came out to genuinely see your position because typically those that I'm encountering are very pro Hamas and so on. They don't realize what they're dealing with. Those three groups,
you know, a lot of leftists that are pro Hamas.
Yeah, so many on this live, on this app.
Elaborate.
It's quite shocking to me. It's quite shocking to me. When I mean, you're the first one actually in months that has actually called them T groups.
What?
Straight off, yeah, straight up has just said that they're T groups, which has impressed me. Because they
really quick experiment in the chat.
Could you just give me 5 seconds? I'll answer your question.
Yeah, I know. Just hold on. Really quick experiment in the chat.
Go on then.
Those of you who are leftists, put a 1 in the chat if you think that Hamas is a terrorist group. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Hamas is a terrorist group. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. I'm just curious. Go ahead.
If you get lots of 1s in the chat, I'll follow you. There you go.
I wouldn't say my chat is unique or specific. This is what I've experienced in my time on this app and the people I'm talking to. I have encountered I've talked to quote unquote leftists. One I had a whole debate one about a year and a half ago that said that Hamas is misrepresented by the entire West. And while there may be some truth to that, I still think they're fucking terrible. But that is not common.
I mean, politically, if you analyze my positions, I'd probably be on the center-left, generally, on most positions. But just one other point. Those same groups that we've been discussing, the various H groups, are being brought into Iran. I think the number that I've been given is around 5,000, looking at the Iranian social media. And they have been unaliving, obviously, tens of thousands of Iranians. So you can imagine what the population thinks about the pro-Pali side at the moment.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Really clear. Really quick point, just to make sure we're being clear. Are we conflating Hamas with Palestinian people?
Yes, because they are Palestinians. They are Gazans.
Well, I know they are, but they would still be. I would still separate them from the average Palestinian.
I would hope so. I would hope that that's the case. My worry is that's not the case. My worry is they have a lot more support than we would wish they would have. I think you and me would hope that they have very little support in Gaza and the Gazans would be delighted to get rid of them and so on. But looking at the breakdown of Gaza, the various clans, which I won't go into for this conversation, there's about 7 major clans, of which one of them is the one that turned into Hamas.
Okay, so I want to say this. So one, I do think that is a misconception, and two, there is an aspect of the devil you know that Palestinians would be allowed to have. I'm not saying I agree with it, but if they have more of a trust for those guys versus the U.S. and who's funding Israel, who's fucked them over, I understand that perspective. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but that makes more sense than saying that they're just blatant Hamas supporters and sympathizers. Ultimately, they just want freedom, and however they choose, however they get to it, I get being fine with that.
My understanding is Hamas has maintained power by a network of alliances with the local clans. This is obviously broken down since October the 7th, because the clans weren't asked permission. Most of the clans weren't asked permission about the events on October the 7th and subsequent events. So that how would you call it? Control over Gaza that was a negotiated control to do with the import of food and so on, and the distribution of it has broken down.
Yeah, well, they would obviously need local support to have any influence that they do.
Sure.
But
yeah,
sure,
it's not.
I think we're going down a very slippery slope if we're trying to say that Hamas and just the Palestinians in general are one and the same.
No, I would looking at the data, they are substantially one and the same.
What data would that be?
So the election, the subsequent polls that have been done within Gaza by the UN and other agencies for support for Hamas, they still, up until October the 7th, it's been difficult since then to actually have any kind of decent polls.
So
they
of
had
them are dead.
substantial, overwhelming support.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you read it, your listeners don't like this. I'm telling you, as someone on the center left, this is what I've observed. I mean, I read Chomsky going back nearly 30 years. So that's kind of my, I have a great deal of sympathy from Chomsky's analysis of what's going on in that region.
So are we talking about, when we're talking about their support, are we comparing it
What's
to...
the argument?
Hi, Covey. So this guy up here was, well, straight up said that Hamas and Palestinians are basically off the data, one and the same in terms of their support for him. So I was just going to ask a clarifying question in regards to, are we comparing their support for Hamas versus Fatah, or like, what exactly do you mean when you say a bunch of them are pro-Hamas?
Sure. So Fatah did have support, but then they were unalived by Hamas, and in Gaza they retained.
Wait,
control
that's not necessarily true.
Well, if you just let me finish my point, by all means, you can jump in afterwards and rebut it. Within the West Bank, if elections were held today, Hamas would win.
Yes.
So
Are you surprised as to why they would win? I'm confused.
I am pretty surprised why they'd win.
Why would you be surprised? If they're a rebel group that is fighting against a colonial entity, why would you be surprised? I'm confused.
You don't think they're a terrorist group?
A majority of the world doesn't categorize them as a T organization, by the way. Even the United Nations.
I don't care what the majority of the world thinks.
No, again, they're not a T organization.
Right. So in your opinion, you don't view them as a terrorist.
A majority of the world does not categorize them as a T.
Majority of the world thinks.
No. You should though. You should care about what the United Nations. Well, hold on. The United Nations. Wait 1 second. You asked me a question. Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, Hector, but even the United Nations doesn't categorize them as a T organization. By the way,
the UN Women's Rights Organization took over a month to admit that any form of SA occurred on October the 7th.
Why did Israel prevent investigations from happening?
No, they didn't. Don't give
it. It did.
No, they didn't.
It did.
I've seen the forensic reports.
No, it didn't.
The reports.
There are no forensic reports. Are you talking about the ones from Pramila Patton?
Don't spread misinformation like
that. I'm not going to spread misinformation. Are you telling me that the Israeli government did not obstruct investigations on October the 7th?
Oh, now you changed the goalposts. We were talking about...
I'm saying obstruction means no investigations happened. Are you telling me?
That doesn't mean no investigations.
Yes, it did.
And it depends
investigations were prevented from happening.
And it depends what you mean by obstruction.
I'm saying again, investigations were prevented from happening until October the 7th. By the Israeli government. Are you denying that?
So you don't believe that the Israeli government can investigate what happened to their own people?
No. I don't think the Israeli... I would hope that an independent organization would be allowed to conduct it. Wait, I'm so sorry. Why are you over-talking me? I'm confused. Is it because I'm debunking your misinformation? Is it because I'm debunking your misinformation?
There's no debunking.
Hector, did you know that? Did you know that the Israeli government actually prevented third-body entities from actually conducting an investigation into October the 7th?
So I do recall reading a report in regards to the reports that Israel was putting out that all this sexual assault took place was not proven. I do remember reading something about that.
So the United Nations wanted to investigate this, right? A third-body organizations want to investigate this. They were not allowed to speak with the victims. They were not allowed to speak with the medical, with Israeli doctors. They weren't even allowed to enter the area and conduct a full investigation. Because the United Nations, by the way, I can read it out to you right now. The United Nations was claimed that Palestine and the Palestinian authorities were willing to respond to any of the requests, whereas the Israeli government refused to respond to the requests.
I am reading one here from the Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory, including East Jordan and Israel. 4 requests went out. 4 requests on the information to Israel and 1 request to the state of Palestine. Israel did not respond. That's what I am reading.
So it's called Detailed Findings into October the 7th. That's the report that was released by the United Nations. Detailed findings.
Women weren't essayed. Were women essayed? Do you believe the victims?
No, I didn't say that. Again, what I'm saying is I will neither confirm nor deny. What I demand... No, hold on. Chill. You asked me a question. What I demand is the victims that you're talking about, they deserve a third body, full-blown investigation. right?
Why?
Because if you want to bring justice into it, I'm confused as to why Israel is not allowing any investigation,
Why
but
should we?
instead is weaponizing that to genocide
Thank you, Tara.
Palestinians.
Where's
So
the G-side?
can
Are the
you make
Iranians
me
being
the big
G-sided right
screen,
now?
Hector?
Yes.
Can you make me the big screen, Hector?
Are
Yeah, I'll just show it to you.
Iranians, Covey, being G-sided?
Iranians are being unalived by their government. Yes, I don't
Yeah.
support the
Are they
Iranian
being
government.
G-sided by their Arab government?
Their government is not Arab.
Their
What are you
government
talking
is
about?
Arab. Name me a
How is
single
their
person.
government Arab? Their
Name
government
me
is
a
not Arab.
single
There are.
person in the Iranian government and the ISC Central Council.
Since
who
when is their
not
government Arab? Since when is the Ayatollah Arab? I'm confused.
You really don't know what you're talking about, do you?
No. Again,
He's
since
not
when is the
Persian.
Iranian government Arab?
They're Arabs. They weren't born in Iran. Their ethnicity isn't Iranian. Their family doesn't come from Iran.
I just looked it up. The
Khomeini
government is
Indian.
Persian.
The government is not Persian.
It is. The government
at
is
the
Persian.
ethnicity. Who is the
The
leader
Iranian
of
government
Iran,
is.
and what's
You would
his
need to
ethnicity?
prove it. You would need to prove that their government. But also before we go there, you know that Islam
ethnic
and
information.
you know that Islam and Arab is not synonymous, right?
I'm reading it
But
here.
before you
She's
go there,
correct.
can you make me the big screen? Because I do want to address this part. Because I don't want to skip over this. The fact that Israeli government is not cooperating with.
They don't have to cooperate with anyone.
So
for
so
their
then
activities.
investigation was not conducted.
Why should they be doing
So let's
investigation from the UN?
No. If you, I'm
What
so
other
sorry.
country-
If you
what
are
other
a
country
victim, no,
Did
hold
the
on,
Americans allow
reasonable.
independent people to
Hold
come in and
on, one second.
investigate?
Yes, the
what happened in 9/11?
Palestine actually did allow it. Yes.
Oh,
Palestine
Palestine
did.
Action. These are the same people I'm seeing in the background of Iranian
Here
TV.
it is. No, let's read this.
Palestine
right? Let's read-
Action are
Hold
supported
on.
by the mullahs
No,
in
I'm
Iran.
not talking about Palestine Action. I'm
You
talking
just
about the
said Palestine
Palestine.
Action.
I said Palestine authorities, not
No,
action. I
you
never
just said
once.
Palestine Action.
Nope, I never once mentioned action. I said authorities.
You
Why
just
would
said
Palestine Action
Palestine.
have anything to do with people on the
You
ground?
just said
Actually,
Palestine.
everyone hold.
I
Everyone hold for
never-
2 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds.
There,
Correct.
can you make me the big screen? 'Cause
Palestine
I do want to
Action, a
address this
proscribed
part. 'Cause I
terrorist
don't want
group
to
within
skip
Hold on.
over this. The fact that Israeli
you
government is
apparently
not
support them.
cooperating with.
You also
They don't-
support
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Persian.
Hold on. I hope someone's not talking when I just asked y'all not to talk. I know it's not Covey. Shut up for a second, please. I'm literally playing it back. Thank you.
The government is not Persian.
It is. The government
at
is
the
Persian.
ethnicity. Who is the
The
leader
Iranian
of
government
Iran,
is.
and what's
You would
his
need to
ethnicity?
prove it. You would need to prove that their government. But also before we go there, you know that Islam
ethnic
and
information.
you know that Islam and Arab is not synonymous, right?
I'm reading it
But
here.
before
She's
you go there,
correct.
can you make me the big screen? Because I do want to address this part. Because I don't want to skip over this. The fact that Israeli government is not cooperating with.
They don't have to cooperate with anyone.
So
for
so
their
then
activities.
investigation was not conducted.
Why should they be doing
So let's-
investigation from the UN?
No. If you, I'm
What
so
other
sorry.
country-
If you
what
are
other
a
country
victim, no,
Did
hold
the
on,
Americans allow
reasonable.
independent people to
Hold
come in
on,
and
one second.
investigate?
Yes, the
what happened in 9/11?
Palestine actually did allow it. Yes.
Oh,
Palestine
Palestine
did.
Action. These are the same people I'm seeing in the background of
I didn't say
Iranian
action.
TV.
You see that?
Yep, she's correct.
I said Palestine actually did allow it. By the way, the current supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah, is Azeri. He's from Azerbaijan. That's not Arab. I don't know if you know this, reasonable.
It's not Iranian.
But Azerbaijan. No. But you said they were Arab. They're not Arab. He's literally Iranian Azeri, right? So he's not Arab. I like how you try to slide in your little Arab phobia by saying this, but they're not Arab. It's crazy.
Do you think I have Arab phobia?
So as I said, yeah. So as
No
I
evidence.
said, let's
Just no smears.
it's okay. You can do your little sly, slimy laugh.
you're the
Let's
one
look at the
supplying the
facts,
terrorists,
right? So when we look
You're
at
the ones who
this,
think that
it
they're
says
heroes.
here the commission sent 4 requests for information to Israel and 1 request to the state of Palestine. Israel did
Why?
not respond. The state of
Good.
Palestine
Why
provided the
should they be
commission with.
responding?
Can I finish?
No, because this is
Can I
not the
finish?
conversation.
Wait,
This is
I
important
thought you were
conversation.
all about freedom of speech and equality for
But you're
women, but
not.
for some reason you don't
No,
believe
see-
in me speaking. Isn't that crazy?
No,
not
because you
not
keep
such a
over-talking me
democracy
when I
after
make a
all.
point.
Not such a democracy
You're
after
just doing a
all.
monologue.
So I'm
It's
not
just a monologue.
monologuing. No, I'm not monologuing.
You're
You tried
monologuing.
to claim that Israel did not obstruct any investigations.
There's
You
no
tried to
obstruction
claim that
because they have no
investigations
right
were
to investigate
conducted by
Israel.
third body,
These are
like by
Israeli
third
citizens.
independent third body organizations, and I'm proving you wrong because you tried
I'm
to spread
proving
misinformation
you wrong
here.
because you are claiming the UN has authority where it doesn't. The Americans
I
didn't
didn't
allow
say
them
that.
Never about
No,
authority.
you
9/11.
tried to
That has
claim.
literally never been
Give
an
me an
argument.
That's not what I
example of where
said.
the UN
You
is
tried to
allowed
claim an
into sovereign countries.
investigation was conducted into October the 7th, and I told you that is
More
not
talking
true.
points.
That is not
More
true.
talking
Did
points.
he not say that he read a commission report from the UN? You did.
More.
You
I'm
said
still
that.
waiting for you to answer my question.
I did. What
No, you
question are you
didn't.
talking
You
about?
just went on a monologue about something
I
What
else.
feel
question?
like
What
first off,
question?
you haven't probably even been like interpreting and understanding what she's been saying. Then you keep responding to things that are
I know
not
exactly what
relevant.
she's
So yeah, there's that. I did look up a few things on the back end, and I'm seeing that she's correct. So I'm curious as to where you're getting all this base from. Go ahead, Covey.
I have it like in my back. By the way, this is from the official United Nations report, right? Because he lied and said he read a commission report from the UN when that's not true. The United Nations themselves have said they have been unable to conduct investigations. Why? Let's look as to why. They say here, the commission, so
more
it says
monologue.
here,
Are you going to let
the
me actually
commission
respond,
submitted
or
6
are you just going to
requests for
monologue?
access to Israel
I'm
and the
still waiting.
occupied
Let her
Palestinian
finish, and then you will
territory.
be given your
Israel
chance to respond.
persists.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Thank you,
Israel
Shauna.
persists in not responding to the Commission's request for access to its territory and in preventing access to occupied
I'm
Palestinian
still waiting to
territory.
respond.
The Commission
It's been
considers
5
that
minutes now.
Israel
I'm
is. Why are you scared? If this truth stands by your side, you should let me speak. Why are you
We only
scared? Unless there's propaganda that you're spreading that you're trying
let.
to frame a narrative
You're
to
so
manufacture
triggered.
consent to justify genocide,
You're just
right? So it says
fascist, aren't
here
you?
the
My guy,
commission
I'm not going to
considers.
tell you again to shut
Let
up.
people
You
speak.
will then be allowed to
You
speak. You can ask your question to which she will
Silence.
answer it directly, and you can
Silence
go
is
on a
violence.
ramble for 2 minutes
And
uninterrupted. Okay? Stop interrupting her.
stop
Let
rant.
her finish.
Let get.
Okay?
This is
Wow, for
not.
people who claim that they love
This is not a
democracy, it's
Fine.
actually
conversation.
I will
very
keep you
insane.
silenced.
So
No
anyway,
point
it
dealing
says
with.
here the commission considers that Israel is obstructing its investigations into events on and since
That
October
works
the
too.
7th, both in Israel and in the occupied Palestinian territory.
Why are
The
you
state
running?
of Palestine
Why are you running?
has indicated he ran away. The state of Palestine has indicated that it would welcome a visit by the commission. And then if you go to 7 or 8, it says here the commission faced several challenges in its investigation into acts committed in Israel on the 7th of October. Israeli officials have publicly announced on several occasions Israel's refusal to cooperate with the commission's investigation into acts committed by H Group and other Palestinian armed groups against Israelis. Israeli officials not only refused to cooperate with the commission's investigation, but also reportedly barred medical professionals and others from being in contact with the commission after it approached medical professionals in Israel in December 2023. The commission was not able to visit the sites of the violations as the Israeli government has prevented it accessing Israel, right? So the reason as to why I'm bringing it up is if Israel is actually the victim here, then Israel should be very much okay with opening the door and allowing any independent investigations to be conducted to bring justice for its victims. Israel has obstructed the investigation. Palestine has actually welcomed investigation. And second of all, the H Group is not considered a T organization, even under international law. So I'm a bit confused as to why anyone would be surprised that Palestinians generally would be more supportive of a group that is the last line of defense. You have a genocidal government that has been genociding and occupying Palestinians with impunity, and the last line of defense is that group. If people don't want that group to exist, maybe they need to do better in preventing genocide.
I was just going to say, going back to the comment he made earlier, and thank you, Erica, also for pointing that out. At some point, it started to get really confusing that he said with his full chest, I haven't met a single leftist for months that thinks Hamas is a bad group, in which, to be clear, as I mentioned earlier, there's the devil you know aspect of it, where of course they would trust them over other groups, over their own government, so on and so forth, whether you agree with them or not. But that makes sense that he conflated them with the entirety of the people. Whew, alrighty, that was something.
The reason as to why Israelis and pro-Israelis like to conflate the H Group with Palestinians is because under international law, age group members, specifically not the political faction, but the military faction, would lose civilian status because they're combatants, and therefore they won't be as protected as civilians under international law. Whereas when we look at international law, when it comes to the conventions, when it comes to how civilians are to be treated, the extra protections that civilians have, Israel does not want to actually honor that. It wants to violate that. And the only way it could violate that is if it tries to claim that all Palestinians are somehow combatants and therefore they lose their civilian status, when that is just not true. Half of the Gazan population are children. To claim that children are somehow combatants is just fundamental, like, dehumanization of Palestinians, which I'm not surprised that Israeli society or pro-Israelis would do that.
6,000%. Guys, can we make sure we're taking care of Covey while she's here? Thank you so much, Covey, for coming up and doing that.
God bless you.
Because I wasn't the most informed on it, but then there's some things that he was saying that was a little strange. So thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. Guys, make sure that you're following Covey. It's a fantastic creator and definitely super informed when it comes to those foreign issues. Because, yeah, that was strange. That was so strange. But yeah, drop whenever you need to, Covey. Thank you so much for coming up. That was weird. Jesus, man. Yeah, there was a couple of things that sounded off. Again, like I said, I wasn't the most informed on the Iranian situation, but the comments about them all being Arab and they were this, and he blames the West. That was strange. That was very, very strange. But with that being said, she's back.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
So there is an active a narrative right now that is pushed by pro-Israelis, which is to demonize all Arabs, okay? And that's why they try to then apply that label to Iran, because Iran is actively being demonized even within just global, like, mainstream media as well, right? So you would thank you, by the way, everybody, for the gifts. So you associate Iran with Arab identity, even though there are Arabs within Iran, but they are a minority. The leadership are not Arab. They're either Persian or they're either Azeri from Azerbaijan. They're Iranian Azeri, right? So, but they are trying to associate somehow everything that they claim is bad to Arabs, to Muslims, because when they talk about Arabs, they're not talking about the Christian Arabs, they're talking about the Muslim ones, right? So it's kind of like a two birds with one stone, Arab phobia / Islamophobia. And this is the way that they're attempting to radicalize everybody in the West by claiming, us Israelis, we are a European outpost in the middle of the Middle East that's opposing barbarism. We're protecting the West from the Arabs. We're protecting the West from the Muslims. Support us in our attempt to genocide everybody, right? So this is a very, very known framing and propaganda that is pushed. So I'm not surprised that he tried to claim that the Iranian leadership are Arabs, even though historically Iran and other predominant Arab countries don't even politically like each other. They're politically enemies. So I just want to add that. But thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Alrighty, whatever side of the political spectrum you are on, if you have a question for me, you may come up and request up in the box. Better yet, if it's one I can't answer, I know some great people who can. So request up in the box, you the demographic of people that I want to have a conversation with. If you have a question about anything we've discussed, anything happening locally, anything happening with the Trump administration, you may do so now. But quick PSA, guys. 543 people in here. 543 people in here. Do me a favor and double tap that screen. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every single Saturday at 3 p.m. CST and live randomly throughout the week. Make sure that you're knocking out this little gift goal here. If you haven't shared out the live, make sure you do that with your friends and family, reposting it, adding it to your stories. Comments are engagement. Please do that as well. Consider becoming a fan club member. If you send a heart me after hitting that follow button, make sure you're not grayed out in the chat. That helps support the stream as well. Check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support the platform. Make sure you're following me and everything else. We're currently dual streaming to YouTube, so go over there, subscribe. Exact same username, Hectorrtalks with 2 R's. Same with Instagram, same username as well. Joining the Discord community, we are 601 members strong. All fantastic information and great community that we have in there. We're getting back to movie nights in a bit. Getting yourself some merch off the shop. As you see behind you, there's One Piece, make 2 + 2 = 4 again line. There's also the Combo with Never and the 10 Commandments line. And then finally, best ways to support the platform. If you'd like to donate directly, send a message or send me a dono because my head is shiny. You may do so with the Cash App and Venmo, Hectorrtalks with 2 R's, or PayPal, Hectorpal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the YouTube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. YouTube side, make sure you hit the like button on that stream. Subscribe, turn on notification bells as well, and let's keep this conversation going. Sean Strickland, got a question for me?
Yeah. So did you see that the Epstein files were going to be released?
I heard something about it. They're being released in France. They were released in France and Germany, allegedly.
Yeah. So I mean, do you still think that Pam Bondi and Patel should get prosecuted?
What would the Epstein files having to be released in other countries have to do with the U.S. and their failures to do so?
Well, how would it be released in other countries without us allowing it to be released? Like, how would they have
That's a great
access?
question. Are you aware of any authorization that the U.S. gave to allow France and Germany release it?
No.
So, okay. So then for you to say France and Germany did whatever they did, and we don't even know if the U.S. would have authorized them to do so, in which case, again, I need to go figure out how exactly that all is involved. For you to say we should now let Pam Bondi and the rest of them off is strange.
So we don't have United States has no access to it. Only the other countries that released it do.
I'm sorry, what?
The United States has no we can't even look at it right now.
I never said that. When did I say that? Are you saying that the United States can't do it?
Or no, you said that other countries had released it.
Yes, I saw a report allegedly that France and Germany released the unredacted files.
So we can see them right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I haven't looked at it myself.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't find them.
But again, what would that have to do with Pam Bondi and her obstruction, the DOJ's obstruction, and following the law that they were supposed to be released weeks ago, unredacted, save victims' names?
So there's just a lot of unanswered questions as far as like how other people have access to it, and you know, because I thought they were protected by
whether they're answered or not. What would that have to do with Pam Bondi and her failure?
What if that's like I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Yeah,
you brought it up. You asked the question.
So do you think that it's fair for her to get prosecuted for lying under oath?
I think it's fair for every single one of them to get prosecuted for lying under oath, for violating the law, for redacting things that they said they weren't going to beforehand, and in some cases failing to do so. We saw there's a couple words in there. Don't, because of Don T. Don't was redacted throughout the files. They had portions where Donald Trump's name was there, and then they literally took it down and added it back up with his name redacted. We had victims' names that were exposed, and that was the one thing that they weren't supposed to do. They should be prosecuted to hell for that. Do you disagree? Wowzers. Wowzers. When he comes back, he'll answer the question, I guess. Thank you guys for knocking out the gift goal. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and reset it here. It's so weird when you don't have the gift goal declared. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all to gift. Thank you guys so much for clearing that, by the way. Let me go ahead and reset the little 5-cent gift goal here. Sean, I'm not sure what you're looking up. Did he just run?
God bless you.
Did he just...
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, guys. I put in... Actually, I am going to say it. Actually, I am going to say it. Why is it that Republican supporters, MAGA people will go so far to protect Trump and his cronies to where we now want people who are violating the law to be spared because other countries took it upon themselves to do what the U.S. should have done this whole time? What a crazy question to ask. We should let off the people here in the U.S. failing us because of the actions of another country who apparently cares more about victims than we do. What a crazy fucking thing to ask. God, that was strange. Alrighty. You guys know what to do.
Call from
Charles.
Charles, you're on the line. Got a question for me?
Yeah, you're in Texas, right?
That's correct.
All right. What's going on with the Tallarico versus Crockett matchup from your perspective as being a Texas resident?
What specifically would you be referencing? The controversy? Who's better? What exactly would you be referencing?
Who do you think is in the lead? How is the local people analyzing the race? Like, what is your feel on it?
As far as who's in the lead, I guess that can vary based off of several polls. I'm not the most informed on those polls, to be completely honest with you. When it comes to the race, it's Crockett all the way for me. Crockett is the best option. Tallarico, I think he did have a promising start. He had a lot of good things to say. I personally wasn't moved by him in the debate with 2 questions that he pathetically answered. And
what were those 2 questions?
So
what were those 2 questions?
One of them was in regards to the impeachment, articles of impeachment, and what actions that they would either candidate would take in regards to the prosecution of this administration. While they both kind of dance around it for a little bit, Jasmine Crockett did inevitably follow up with one of the things that could be used as tariffs, which I thought was a good policy. I think there's much more better and aggressive ones, but tariffs is a great start because we can all kind of universally agree that kind of hurt the economy, or at least hurt small businesses and whatnot. And then Tallarico tried to... Fuck it, I'll say it. Tallarico tried to suck himself off, and he went on this ramble about, I led articles of impeachment against Ken Paxton, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great. I do all these things. And then they went back to the question, well, can you get more specific in regards to Trump? Like, what would you do? How would you use it? And he said, well, I'm not going to get into the specific intricate details of impeachment with you. And I'm like, bro, you literally tried to use that as a point for you, as a W. And then when you ask specifically how you apply it to the current administration destroying the country, then you couldn't get specific. That was a pathetic... One thing about me, especially in these debates and stuff, I don't care who you are. I can't stand a pathetic ass answer to a question. I can't stand you trying to lead into something as a compliment to yourself, and then you can't back that shit up. That pissed me off. I was like, fuck you, Tallarico. That pissed me off. And again, if you're voting for whatever, I didn't like that.
He's trying to convert Trump voters, so that's why he didn't want to say full-fledged I'm going to impeach the dude. That's why he's doing that crap.
See, that's nonsensical because he's literally running off as a Democrat that Trump is destroying the country, that Trump is weaponizing Christian values in a negative fashion, and that we need to make Christians great again. Essentially, he didn't say that. I'm just paraphrasing it. So now you're trying to appeal to Trump voters by basically not standing on impeaching him is insane. That one thing. There was another one. What was the other one that he answered badly? Shit, what was the other thing? I don't remember the second thing. Ice? What was it? I forgot what his answer was on defunding ICE. I think he said yes. I want to say they both had good answers when it came to that. I don't think that was it. I gotta go back and watch it. I don't remember what the second one is because literally the first one pissed me off that much, but I remember having 2.
Right.
And there was one with Jasmine Crockett that I didn't like, or I mean, not necessarily
What
that I didn't like. I thought Talarico answered better.
what was that?
It was the answer about um, one of Talarico's answers. I forgot the specific question, but Talarico's answers to it. I guess, how would we help? Oh, federal workers. How would we help federal workers? Something like that. And one of the things Talarico mentioned was hiring back the people that were laid off by the Trump administration. And I really like that because not a lot of people talk about the branches of government, the divisions that we had that people were residing over. Some of them was in regulations, environment, civil rights, so on and so forth, that were laid off, that made our government weaker in those departments. And while on one hand, we can say it's a compliment, I guess, in some of the additional money that we'd have in those departments, they were there for a reason. And then if you're going to take that funding just to throw it into ICE, give it back. Give that shit back. Fuck ICE. Defund ICE.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that.
And Jasmine had a really good answer, but I really
You
liked
just like
his better.
Talarico's better.
Yes.
I give you that.
Yeah.
But how about on the ground? Like, are the black people really? Because I'm looking at the polls and I'm like, why is she only getting 70% of the black vote? That's just ridiculous to me. Like, is there a lot of what I want to say, a good word? Is there a lot of buck dancing black folks down there? I mean, what's the
Yes.
what's I mean,
Absolutely. Like yes. 6,000%.
Oh my God.
Shit. What are we
I
talking
never
about?
understand that because I come from the great state of Minnesota where our black folks are 10 toes down. So when I hear about these black folks in Texas and down south, I'm like, how do y'all not be more down? I don't understand that. Y'all grandmas used to get, lynched and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get that.
It's to me personally, if I'm to say three things specifically about, I guess, black Texans from my observations, which in some cases can be anecdotal. I was in Austin. Austin's white as fuck. But in my experience with some of them there, there's going to be taxes. I think ultimately, like black people in general, we're big on affordability. And one thing we hate paying is taxes. I think a lot more of us can be educated on the benefits of taxes, despite we know all our taxes aren't used correctly. Everyone knows that. But I would never sit here and say abolish taxes. So there's a lot of provisions that are put forward. Recently, the 17 propositions that most people voted for in November to defund, tax less. When black people see that shit, they go, more money in my pocket. So that's easy for them to go, of course I'm going to vote for that. And then obviously Republicans they're winning the war on affordability in the sense of Democrats just want to tax the hell out of you. And in my personal opinion, where Democrats are failing at is not giving proper accountability for where those tax dollars are going. I'm so tired of Democrats talking about tax. We're going to do this. And then we're not talking about, well, we have some issues with taxes. So how about we get more accountability so you can trust where your money is going? That's a huge issue on both sides, really, but especially for Democrats, for me, that I don't like. But in regards to on the ground, the only thing I can say, and I can still see it now, is Talarico has more of the media presence from a lot of the interviews that I'm seeing. And Jasmine Crockett's been doing interviews. She's been ramping up the interviews, but he's just been a bit more big in regards to like stupid platforms like Jubilee and shit. However, Jasmine Crockett has a dedicated base where they may not be all over the internet, but they show up to those votes, to those polls. And then I would also say, friendly reminder, Jasmine Crockett does have a whole nother big job, a big girl job to do. She's on several committees, oversight committees, subcommittees. She's has other shit to do. This is no different from things like 2024, when people were criticizing Kamala Harris for not doing this much interviews and stuff like that. It's like she had 107 days to run a campaign, and she was still the vice president. She had vice presidential duties. So it's basically the same thing in that department.
Okay, and what about the Latino support? Because I read online that, the whole, they're saying that she's not going to be able to get Latino support. I mean, you think that's accurate? Or because my theory of the case, here's my theory of the case for Democrats, just nationwide. Well, it depends upon, like, to me, Talarico's strategy makes sense in a state like Iowa. where the demographics is like mostly white people. But once you go to a more diverse state, you got to change your strategy. And to me, Crockett's idea, her strategy makes more sense for a state like Texas than, trying to convert MAGA voters. Whereas her strategy is just get the base out, get the base, and then expand from that. So, and I'm thinking with the Latino support, that's a swing vote. And and I read online from some of these Tallarico supporters saying that she can't get the Latino vote. And I'm like, I don't believe that, but I'm not from Texas.
From what I've seen, I think I personally have seen more, Latino support on the Tallarico side. But if we break that down even further, it's been Latino men. I do think, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the chat, whatnot, to my knowledge, I do think Jasmine Crockett's still been looking good in regards to Latino women. Versus
I
men
can believe that too.
towards, and I don't have to get into the reasons why for that. I think we all know, but yeah, I think it is kind of like you said, it is a toss up.
Okay. Well, she got to get that Latina women in. She got to get them come out. That's the only way to win then. And then she's got to get her black support up to at least 85, 90%, because that 70% ain't going to fly. That ain't gonna fly.
I mean, is there always something they can do better? Sure. I just think it's Texas is a very strange state when it comes to people on the left. They're still very moderate. They're still very center, and I think that's where Tallarico seems like the safer bet, because he doesn't fully require some of these people to unpack their races, to be quite frank. But we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, I do hope in general with Democrats across the country, but especially in Texas, that we can do a bit better at campaigning. But I understand the nuances, and we'll see what happens. But
all right, so who do you think is going to take it?
I think it's going to be Crockett. I'm thinking it's going to be Crockett. I'm hoping it's going to be Crockett. I will be voting for Crockett. And those of you here in the state of Texas, fun fact, early voting starts tomorrow. Thank you, Andy, for the Skydrift. Oh, that's such a fucking pretty gift. I appreciate you, Andy. Early voting starts tomorrow in the state of Texas. Early voting starts tomorrow in the state of Texas. I personally like to early vote. I have to go figure out my address change situation. I got to figure that out and hope they don't try to screw me there.
Yeah, because they did a lot of redistricting like crazy down there.
Yeah. Not only that, we just had a couple weeks back, we just had Texas give up sensitive voter data to the DOJ, and they're making some attempt to find illegitimate voters. I don't want them to try, because I literally just moved last week. I don't want them to find any stupid reason to be like, oh, what's going on with the suspicious thing here? So I got to go figure that out. But
yeah, my state, they tried to use that to get ICE out of here, and our governor laughed at them. Like, nah, we're not giving you our voter data. Nope, we're not doing that.
Must be nice. I'm here in Texas. But I
I'm here in Minnesota. ICE is leaving. So
you're in Minnesota. Oh, you in the front lines of that shit.
Yes, indeed. Well, here's the weird part about ICE. Okay, I live in the hood in St. Paul. Minneapolis.
I'm not trying to cut you out. Do try to keep this a little short. I do have another guest waiting. But
yeah. I didn't see the ICE. I didn't see ICE nowhere in the hood. Nowhere in the hood in St. Paul. I didn't see them at all. So I don't know what.
I thought that's where the Somalis were at.
The Somalis are in Minneapolis. But the black people in the hood in St. Paul, no ICE. All right, brother. We'll talk later.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, bye.
Later. All righty. Let me do this. Perfect. Really quick, let me read out some thank yous before we get on to the next guest. W's in the chat to Erica for the $15 Venmo. Boba and stuff. Oh, get some shea butter. I have shea butter. I have coconut oil, and I have this other one that I got. So today I mixed. Why am I telling you all my personal? Anyways, I have that already. W's in the chat to Erica. W's in the chat to you. And W's in the chat to Feisty. Hi, Feisty, for the $20 Venmo. Hey, boo. Hello, Feisty. I hope you're doing better today. W's in the chat to you guys. W's in the chat to you guys. Best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio, Cash App and Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's. PayPal, Hectorpal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 200K. Let's do that within the next couple of minutes. 495 of you in here. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday at 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. We'll do the rest of the PSA for the other things. Kyle, are you there? Kyle may not know how to unmute. Hold on. Kyle just sent you an an invite to unmute. Are you there? I love the name. What name? What name, Lauren? Let's see here. Chatter's requesting you bump up your mic a bit. Oh, it's doing the thing again. It's doing the thing again. Kyle, I'm not sure if you know you're even up here. Kyle, come back up. Come back up if you was wanting to ask a question. Alrighty. No matter what side of the political spectrum that you are on, whether you're a far leftist who thinks, I don't know, Kamala Harris wasn't left enough, or you are someone on the right who thinks that we often misinterpret Republican policies and values and that we hate Trump for no reason. This is your opportunity to ask a progressive a question. If you're over on the TikTok side, request up in the box. If you're over on the YouTube side, you may call in the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Oh, just Hector? Okay, got you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jared, while you're up here, I didn't realize you're up here this whole time. I want to go back to what you mentioned earlier. You said,
yes, sir. I thought you told me to stay up here.
oh no, I said you can just go and drop down or whatever, but it's fine.
It's all good. I did bills.
Got you. I want to pick your mind a little bit. I want to pick your mind and get into the white experience, the white household. You mentioned that it's very common, or at least in your spaces, for white people to mispronounce Tupac.
Yeah. Fortunately, I had a unique experience, especially growing up in Central Illinois, because my father was the whitest, most Jewish man you'll ever meet, but he was obsessed with Aretha, Diane Warren, Warwick, all of the music of Motown and R&B and everything from the 50s up into the 80s. So I had a little bit of more experience, but yeah, it's a weird experience because we're a sea of blue, island of blue in a sea of red. So there's about 2 hours of red towns in between us and Chicago, but we are surrounded with all of these small conservative, I'm going to say it, redneck towns. There's even some still sundown towns. But you would see a lot of those white tractor driving, Ford pickup driving, bumping Tupac and rock and rap and everything, thinking they understand the experience. But going around saying, yeah, I love me some Tupac. Yeah, I'm not racist. I love Tupac.
Jesus Christ.
But it's weird because 20 minutes north is the town where the Tuskegee Airmen originally trained before they went down south. And then, but just, it's a weird cognitive dissonance because this town is liberal as the way it votes, but there's a lot of systemic racism in the town. It's literally one of those old towns that was split by a railroad. One side of the railroad was white, one side of the railroad was black. But it very much, and I had to realize this because even though I was raised liberal, I was still white in Central Illinois and had so many biases that I did not
Yes,
realize.
hold on, 1 second, Jared.
Yeah.
What's your name here? Perhappen?
Yes.
Yes, got a question for me?
Yeah, I was just bringing up just a question. If a country found out that a lot of their citizens were pedos, how would you think that they would get that group of people to start drift into a progressive sense for an election coming up? Just hypothetically, of course.
I mean, I would argue we learned that in the 2024 election. It really solidified in 2025. As for how do we get the pedos to become more progressive, we don't. In a perfect world, we would yeet them, but here we have due process and stuff. So I'm not even fully sure how to answer your, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I the only reason I brought this up is because I saw these videos that they're coming up with that's saying that they're trying to make them a part of the LGBTQ community, and I'm like, whoa.
So that's a bunch of Republican bullshit. I remember this happened a couple years ago. It was called it was referenced as maps, minor, yeah, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I still don't know like all the details about it. I just remember Republicans running with it and then trying to use that to paint the LGBTQ, specifically trans people, as being that, even though that term map would not apply specifically to the LGBT. So it's fucking ridiculous. It's not true at all. Just another talking point that they use to try to belittle us, despite the fact that they are literally the pedo protectors and excusers.
Yeah, this is the first
Term
time I
map would
was
not
even
Yeah.
I was even knowing that there's a group that's out there that's like apparently being left out. I was like, what now? But yeah, it was just a funny thing that came to mind.
Yeah. We vote them out. We get them prosecuted. And we let natural selection take care of the rest. That's all I can say on this platform without getting flagged. So yeah, was that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks.
I appreciate you coming up, man.
All right.
But yeah, Jared, sounds like just some white boys who just like to feel hard. That's what rap music does for them. It makes them feel hard. It makes them feel bigger than what they actually are. And yeah, I can't even say the other thing I want to say.
Yeah, I think I know what you're leaning towards. But it's just been an intriguing experience with this town because it is, predominantly Democratic, surrounded by hardcore Republicans. But there's been this weird shift where it's becoming more like performative liberalism, like a small Portland, where it's white liberals, they feel they can't be racist, but when they get called out on it, they get upset. I watched Our Own White Flight in the early 2000s, which was weird in my own neighborhood that I grew up in. So in around the time of the the housing bust boom or bubble, Chicago was also gentrifying and sending impoverished population down here, but they were buying up houses in the neighborhood, and I would see a black family move in and then a white family move out to where the town was expanding in rich neighborhoods, and it became more and more and more, and then it became to the point where I think less than 30% of the population is black in this town, but They
said
make
less
up
than 7?
less than 30%.
Oh, 30, okay.
But they make up the predominant number of public students in the town, because the white flight also went from public to private schools. And it's just been this weird dichotomy of, yes, I'm in a democratic town, but they sure aren't acting like it.
That is extremely... what the fuck is that? Thank you, Blazer.
Was that a Pokemon on your head?
It says Heart Hood. I'm not quite sure what that was. But Jared, I do appreciate you coming up. I'm going to drop you down, see if we can
That's
encourage
fine.
some other people to call in. But
That's fine. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding.
No, you're good. You're good. Just, fellow fuck, what did you say the other day?
Follically challenged?
Fellow follically challenged individuals got to stick together. I appreciate you coming up.
No problem.
I posted it's gone now, but I posted a video on my story. This man came up here, and this man said with his full chest, "Thank you, Blazer, for the air dancer." Came up with this panel, said with his full chest that his hairline went out for milk and never came back. And I fucking, oh my God, I rolled out of my chair. But that being said, I did see a comment that I wanted to address on the YouTube side. It was referencing terms versus like defund and reform. And so I'm half on half on this, right? And my half on half take is not as, I guess, progressive as people would like, but I'm more so aligning it with the understanding of how this fucking country works. I'm of the firm belief, my personal opinion, y'all can argue with me, I think the country shifted more right. Or better yet, I think the country was maybe always this way, but they weren't as comfortable being that right under previous administration, as Donald Trump just brought it out of them. So when it comes to the debate about defund the police versus reform the police, I do typically lean towards defund was the problem. I don't think that was a good word to use. But I also can say context is nuance is something that a select group of people like to just throw out the freaking window when it's something that they just support outright. I think even if you said reform the police, they would make it defund the police. I think even if you said reform this, reform that, because we've been using reform for decades, they still find a way to like misalign everything you're saying with some radical left bullshit. But in terms of defund the police, we know what it is. We know what it did, and it wasn't what everyone made it out to be. Zoran Mandati did a fantastic job of going, yes, I'm for defund the police, but he just never really said it. In fact, he would straight up say, no, I'm not for defunding the police. But police officers are often talking about things that they shouldn't be addressing, things that they shouldn't be dealing with, like mental health crises and stuff. And they don't get paid enough for it. We need to allow the police to go after the criminals and not have them responding to every little call so that they can be doing their job protecting the city, and then everyone else could be addressing other issues. So that was a super dope thing that I thought that he did. He didn't lean into the fund the police, because at this point, I think we lost the war on that terminology, in my opinion. I don't think anyone should be saying that in 2026. It doesn't help the left. Why does this thing say demon rat? Because it gets the people in, that's why. Like literally the tagline I put on TikTok is I'm a demon rat, or demon rat asks me questions, because that's what they consider us anyway. I just thought it was funny. Yes, exactly what Shauna said. Guys, continue to double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 200K. Let's do that ideally within the next couple of minutes. You know what we try to at least do? 100K every hour. We have 20 minutes left, and we have 45K more to go. So let's get the likes up to 200K by the time we hit the 2-hour mark and beyond. But yes, whatever side of the political spectrum you're on, if you have a question for me that you'd like to ask, something you want clarification on, a personal position that I have, my positions on candidates, whatnot for the midterms, because this is a midterm year. This is a very important election coming up. You may request up in the box and ask that question. If you're over on the YouTube side, you can call them the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Really quick, thank you. W's in the chat to Shauna for the $10 Venmo. W's in the chat to Shauna for the $10 Venmo. I appreciate you. You guys already know what to do. The best ways to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Hectorrtalks with 2 R's, or PayPal, Hectorpal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. Mamdani had a press conference with the tiny humans and gave them a tiny podium with a mic. Did he? The fuck are you talking about, James? Did he do that? Hold on. Let me see. Let's do By tiny humans, we are talking about kids, right? Okay. I just want to be sure. Let's see here what I can find. So Mamdani press dolphins bird. Portal question about favorite animals. Mamdani kids, what's your favorite animal? Is this the one we're talking about? Video shows hilarious moment. We'll play the video. Give me a second. I'll put it up on the screen. I will put this up on the screen. Window capture. Guys, I haven't crashed out yet, bro. That's crazy. I like this. We got to get back to doing this. I mentioned this yesterday, and I stand on that shit. We will not be doing that topic in a long time. Donald Trump's a racist. We would not be doing that because that was beginning to be a fucking lot. I just wish more people who don't know about race would stop speaking on race. Just stop doing it. Stop doing it. Why is that so hard? Let's see.
I'm Hector Garza, Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council, which represents Border Patrol agents across the country. Our members are proud to endorse John.
Fuck off. This is the bullshit that I have to deal with. Reason number one why most of my platforms and services that I have, which this is my Hectorrtalks account, my personal YouTube, I don't have ads. That's the bullshit that I can't stand. That's the bullshit I can't fucking stand. These Republican bullshit ass ads. And that will lead into another thing we'll talk about in a second, but hold on.
Aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark. Wait, what do you think?
My favorite aquarium animal is a shark.
Is a shark.
That's honestly such a good one.
Yes.
My home animal is a goat.
Oh, and a goat.
Thank you all for your answers.
And my favorite one is a gold snake that can move and it has gold eyes and it has a long tail, a super duper tail, and it can snap cars and crash the cars, and those two cars can get fired.
So just to make sure I'm getting all that, that's a golden snake with gold eyes, with super long, can crash cars and crash into them?
Yeah, and they get fired.
Thank you for your answers.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mamdani,
yes.
The second question for you.
Yes, it's also the golden snake.
Man, Trump could never. Trump could never. In fact, let me show y'all what happens. Let me show you guys what happens when Trump interacts with children. Give me a second. Let me a second. Let me show y'all what happened when Trump. Actually, I have two. This one is fucking hilarious. Give me a second. Let's do this one first. This is what happens when Trump interacts with kids. Okay, let's point this out here. There's this one.
Donald Trump a real person.
Yes, Donald Trump is a real person.
I'm feeling it, buddy.
Oh, poor kid. Poor kid. I am that kid. I woke up one day and was like, shit. Donald Trump is a real fucking person who 77 million people voted for in the 2024 election to do the same stupid shit, if not worse than he did in his first term. We are hashtag we are that kid. Hashtag we are that kid. But this one is the one I was looking for. This is my fucking favorite. And this kid, this black child, tried to warn us in 2016.
And I was even
This black kid tried to warn us in 2016. Okay? All right? Here we go. This is why we should listen to black girls and women.
Are they all great students? Nice to meet you. Teacher here?
Thank you. Yes, we're working hard.
Does everybody love school?
Yeah.
Who's the best student?
It says school
Everybody Mr. Trump, we have a gift for you. Ebony, would you come on over here? That's a lot of camera. A special gift. Wow, thank you. It's very important to us because it's the foundation of our school.
I don't think this is the one I was looking for, but we're gonna finish it.
This stretches away.
You guys know the video I'm talking about, right? Not the kid not wanting to give it to him. Not the kid. Did you see her face, bro? Hold on. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face. Hold on. Look at that face. The kid initially didn't even want to give it to him. Okay. Didn't even want to give it to him, and then the kid like. That poor fucking child. That kid looked traumatized. That wasn't even the video I'm talking about. We're gonna pull that up. We're gonna pull that one up. But hold on. Let me put it up on the screen for you. Let me put this up on the screen for you. That child is not okay. That child is not okay. That kid needed therapy. I hope her parents put that kid in therapy. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That kid tried to warn us too. How did I find, let me see this. Oh, I spelled it wrong. That's why. Let me find it here. Is a very loud welcome. I think this is it. Hold on. I think I have it. This is the one, I think. Let me move this here. Hold up. This really isn't funny, but it kind of is. It ain't funny, but it kind of is. Oh, these poor babies. That kid tried to warn us, and we didn't listen. And now here we are. I was so stupid. Alrighty. Guys, continue to tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 200K. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday at 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. There should be no one grayed out, including you, James, in the chat. Make sure you're sending your daily heart me's. And consider becoming a fan club member. If you're not, it's basically free. You get a couple cool stickers. That does need to be a sticker. In fact, can I add stickers while I'm live? No, I can't. It's weird you can't add stickers on Studio. You have to do all that through your phone. I'll add it. Actually, I'm pretty sure subscribers or something, you can submit. Show the tube? What do you mean show the tube? Something wrong with the YouTube stream? Oh, show the video to the tube. I'll link it to you guys. That's what I'll do. Give me a second. We'll pull that up. You have to do it via your profile. Oh, so that would be, yeah. I couldn't do it live. I don't think I could do it live. And I'll give you that link here. If it pops the fuck up. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to copy it for you guys over on the YouTube side. You can put it in. Here we go. I got this over for the shop. Yeah, that's fair. Alrighty, guys. Whatever side of political spectrum you are on, if you have a question that you would like to ask me that you want answered in regards to this administration, in regards to local politics, in regards to a candidate that you may not know about, I may not know about, or some information that you think I need to hear, this is your opportunity to request up in the box. You are the demographic of people that I want to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you may call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. And I do want to make this abundantly clear. There you go, YouTube. I did it. I do want to make this abundantly clear, okay? Because it seems to happen a lot. I'll host Well, now we're gonna get back into this live. Maybe not Sundays, because I think I still want to do God Doesn't Fuck with Trump every Sunday. I just didn't want to do it today. But I think we're gonna do one day a week for this, and then the rest we're gonna do the others, and then we're gonna have the other one. So when we host these lives, and you are friendly, and you have all this shit that you want to say, if I don't see you in the box now, but then I see you in the box when we're doing the Fendi and Defensible show, I swear to God, I'll block y'all, because I can't stand it when y'all do that. Can't stand it. My question, why do progressives not see Bernie Sanders is problematic and anti-black? That's an easy answer. Everyone keeps sending this. I have no idea how to open that up from my phone. I have no idea how to reveal this gift through Studio. I don't know how to do that. I'll have to look into it when I end the live on my phone. I don't know how to do that here. Well, for one,
God bless you.
Everyone, not this block in the, let me remove that. For one, in regards to the anti-blackness, he could be, I don't know. But if someone's more informed than that, you're more than welcome to tell me. In regards to specific anti-blackness from Bernie Sanders, I don't know anything about that. If anything, I've had more encounters with his base being anti-black as fuck. And his base using Bernie Sanders to make arguments against Kamala Harris and other individuals, despite the fact that he would have been one of the folks who endorsed her, inevitably. Maybe there is some anti-blackness there. It's just not something that I've personally seen. Don't block me if I do it by accident. You should be fine if you do it by accident. So yeah, in that regard, no. But yeah, a large portion of his base, people that I'd call Bernie bros and whatnot, I do find them to be racist as fuck. It's a lot of Bernie bros that are racist as fuck. I don't think they're... Well, actually, I take that back. I was going to say I wouldn't use this base to show a reflection of Bernie Sanders, but to some degree I kind of do. Kind of. Because if you do have a following and you do have any type of like input and people listen to you and watch you, it is important to me that you like do condemn certain behaviors. And the way Bernie bros go up and down this app and everywhere else spouting out their nonsense, using that as a reason not to vote. I am unaware of Bernie Sanders ever coming out and saying there are people who are using my name to say they don't vote and you shouldn't vote because of how they screwed me in the 2016 primaries or whatever. I have yet to ever hear him say that's stupid. Which is weird to me because a lot of the Bernie bros who justify their lack of voting in the process don't understand that he's still in the same process. He's participating in the process that you're against, that you're sitting out under his name. It's weird. It's fucking weird to me. It's like you're contradicting yourself. You're contradicting what your Lord and Savior Bernie wants you to do. Bernie is sexist and he lost fair and square twice. Sexist, probably. Yeah. That's one thing I don't have the most information on, the intricate details of the 2016, because everyone goes he was legitimately screwed over. I would argue that's something that they could have been sued over. I don't know what the actual case for that is, but honestly, I think I'm going to look into that today. Because it's used so often in these arguments as a reason to shit on Hillary and to say that the process doesn't matter. So I ought to do some due diligence on that, to be completely honest. I'll probably get into it. Who's the best governor candidate in California? Who's running against, who are the candidates? Anything when it comes to California and like Newsom, I've just been thinking about the 2028 and how he's most likely going to be the nominee. I fucking hope not, but we know how things go. I'm unaware of who the candidates are in governor of California. Let's see, governor candidates. California. I wish it was Kamala. I wish it was Kamala. But she's taking a well-rested break. Let's see. So I'm seeing here. This was a day ago by The Hill. We can read it together. Let me put it back up on the screen. Crowded California governor's race creates opening for Republicans. Interesting. Crowded field Democratic candidates running for governor of California could give Republicans a rare opening in the deep blue stronghold. More than half a dozen Democrats seen as serious contenders are competing in the Golden State's June 2nd primary. Oh, their primary is late. Where all candidates will appear on the same ballot and the top two vote getters. Why the fuck did I say getters? will advance to the general election regardless of party affiliation. With no clear party front runner, experts warn there's a real chance the Democrats split their vote. Okay, I just want to know who the candidates are. Hold on. It's within the ID. But 6 Democratic leaders splitting up 60% of the vote. I really hate this talking point. I'm not gonna lie. I hate the talking point of a bunch of Democrats in a primary or whatever, or people choosing to run is like splitting up the vote that should go to other people. That's stupid. We should want competition in our primaries. We should want options. Yes, do I understand that the average person is not like paying enough attention into the each and every single person's platform? Yeah, but I would never say that adding more people, adding more options for Americans to choose from is going to be a net negative. I know how it can be a negative, but it's I don't know, dare I say it's a necessary one. I don't want us to fall, because that's what we did with the big parties, Republican and Democrat. I feel like if you're condoning that, then you're condoning the two-party system, where you want to limit the options because of fear. That's not what we should want. California's jungle primary system is weird. Jungle primary is wild. On the Democratic side, Eric Swalwell, Katie Porter. Oh, Katie Porter. Xavier Becerra. Oh, I do know some of these names. Matt Mahan, Antonio Villargana, billionaire Tom Steyer, Betty Yee, Ian Cauldron, and more. Oh, they may have a couple. They have a lot, actually. Former Vice President Kamala Harris passed on a run that experts said would have been field clearing. Interesting. I do think it would have been. As did Alex Padilla. I do like Alex Padilla. I don't know. Who do y'all think is the best? If we got any Californians in here, I'm curious. Who do you guys think is the best? Because I would not be able to speak on that. I would rather have ranked choice voting. Yeah, we're far off from that, unfortunately. We are far off from all of that shit. W's New York, but it's gonna be a whole nother hurdle to do it anywhere else. Yeah, Alex Padilla is cool. Those of you, I would strongly suggest everyone in here start watching the Senate hearings and Senate confirmation hearings, the ones we do every month, typically with people like Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, the recent one we just had. That was a fucking disaster, absolute disaster. How long was that shit? Yes, he was. But apparently there were rumors that he was going to run for that seat, Jordan. I've only watched clips of the Senate hearing. Other people, Padilla? Did I say it wrong? Padilla? Probably right. Hold on. To pronounce. Let me see.
Pronouncenames.com.
Padilla.
That sounds like a fucking V. Hold on.
Padilla.
That sounds like Pavia.
Do we have the correct pronunciation of your name?
Probably not. Pavia. I said it correctly? Okay, cool. Don't cancel me now. Said it correctly? We're good. It's a soft D. Soft D is a good point. Okay. We'll go with that. Yeah, someone said 4 hours. Someone said 2 hours. Those are two drastically different numbers. I'm just going to look it up. The two L's are like a Y. Got you. Thank you, Claudia. And let's see. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. Make sure you're hitting that follow button, those if you haven't already. Yeah, I was just going to say 5 hours, 21 minutes, and 55 seconds is what I'm looking at. Or at least this is from Face the Nation. This is the full video. Other ones, I guess they would have cropped out or cut out the unimportant parts. But the entire thing is 5 hours. Because I was gonna say we can watch it for a little bit. Maybe we can't watch it for a little bit, but not for 5 hours. I set a time limit on how long I'm going to be live doing this, and we have 59 minutes left. So there's that. If we can't get anyone to call in, we can probably just stream bits of this so I can see what everyone was talking about. Erica posted a fantastic clip of Jasmine Crockett grilling the fuck out of Pam Bondi. But to my knowledge, it wasn't hard. Several other people just went in on her, but Jasmine Crockett, she cooked. Jasmine Crockett said, I'm not even going to engage with you. Fuck you. Jasmine Crockett said, I'm not even engaging with you. Fuck off. W's in the chat for you guys for hitting the 200K likes. For the 200K likes, where are we over on the YouTube side? Let's see where we're at on the YouTube side. Let's get the likes up over there as well. If you're on YouTube, if you're not subscribed to me, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. Turn on notification bells when you're done. We are live every single time. We'll do streaming on TikTok as well. So there's that. The Dow is over 50,000 though. That part I've seen everywhere. That part I have seen everywhere. And did we have a recent crash with that? Because I remember that being over 50,000 or whatever she said. Yeah. So we had intense fear surrounding artificial intelligence. NASDAQ dropped 2. S&P 500 fell 1.6. U.S. stock market crashes again today. But the Dow, though. Hey, Pam Bondi, can we protect children, please? And can you have you do your job? Dow's up 50,000. The next day is crazy. Exactly. Not the stock market going. Fuck you. All right, hold on. We're just going to stream a bit of this. Let me put it back up on the screen. Get my sound going.
I asked you
Attorney
a
General,
specific question
Attorney General
that
can
I would
respond to your
like
question.
you to, above all.
Kelly, Alyssa Slotkin, Chrissy Houlihan.
I did see a bit of that one.
Justice Department has put
This
common
guy's
sense
fucking
ahead of
annoying.
politics. They sued to keep boys out of girls' sports. They secured deals with
Shut
universities.
the fuck
home
up.
state, California, you're unable to apprehend people that my sheriffs want apprehended. They desperately want to cooperate, and they're prohibited by law. It is this committee's opinion on this side of the aisle that, in fact, you should be given the ability to demand that participation, and that the release of a known criminal not be considered to be acceptable just because a state.
It's not what they're doing. I've heard this in several lives. We had one guy try to do this here. These people really think, they actually think that if you're like a convicted SMEX offender, if you're a assaulter, if you're a robber or whatever the case may be, these people really think that the definition of a sanctuary state is a place where criminals can go to and be protected. They actually believe this, like legitimately believe that Chicago is going, yeah, this person is like robbed stores, committed property fraud, beaten 6 wives. We're not letting him off. We're not letting him off. Fuck you, Trump. Like, this is so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Hold on, let's see.
Attorney General of the United States. I came into office with the goal of refocusing the Department of Justice on its core mission after years of bloated bureaucracy and political weaponization. The Department
The one that they still can't substantiate to now.
of Justice's core mission is to fight violent crime, protect the American people, rule of law.
Sexual assault is a violent crime. Friendly reminder that sexual assault is a violent crime, and they're protecting them.
Above all else. While our work is never done, we have made tremendous progress to make America safe again. In 2025, we saw the lowest murder rate in 125 years. That's nothing short of historic.
Is that true? Hold on. Hold on. Lower murder rate in 100 years. Did she say 100 or 125? Based on early 2026 data, 2025 recorded the largest single year drop in U.S. homicides, with murders falling over 20% compared to 2024. Reports suggest this resulted in the lowest murder rate since roughly 1900, though experts note that reliable comparable data prior to 1960 is limited. 125? Yeah. Well, I guess it still would be a little off. The Council on Criminal Justice suggests the national rate drop to approximately 4 per 100,000 residents, potentially the lowest in 125 years. Got you. So that's what they would be referencing. Potentially. Potentially. Even if it was true, how did Trump accomplish that? Precisely. Precisely. They literally want to run off of criminals are scared of Trump. They literally want to run off of that. It's actually sad. All right.
If you compare 25 to 24, here's what you'll find. The murder rate is down 21%, robbery down 23%, carjacking down.
Serious problem that I have with this talking point here. To my knowledge, none of that is incorrect. But then if we compare year over year, 2021, 2022, 2023, we see similar numbers, if not better numbers. Cities, many of those cities being blue, the ones that they demonize, accomplished lowering their own murder rates or the prosecutions. It's not something that's controlled by the president sending ICE out. So there's that. But sure, whatever. Flex your numbers. I like to see the cities helping to reduce those numbers. What? Is it true that France released the unredacted files? That's what I've heard. I haven't looked into it. And I was told to be careful because apparently some of the shit was illegal to have. So I absolutely will not do it on live, but I may see what I can do offline.
43%. Gun assault down 22%. Ag assault, burglary, could go on and on. Crime is declining. This did not happen by accident. The numbers tell an important yet straightforward story. President Trump has given us the resources, the support, and the leadership to protect the American people. President Trump's policies have saved lives. I cannot think of a policy outcome more important than protecting the lives of American citizens. Can you? This trend has been especially clear in Washington, D.C. and in Memphis. These are two iconic American cities that spent years in the grip of horrific violent crime. The Department of Justice surged law enforcement resources, and the results came quickly. Crime plummeted in both cities. And I want to make one point loud and clear. We achieved those results by working with Democratic mayors. Public safety does not have a party registration.
Okay, cool. I want to talk about how bullshitty that statement is. We achieved these results by working with Democratic mayors. Okay? One of those mayors that they often cite is the mayor of DC, Muriel Bowser. Muriel Bowser has been actively outspoken against how much she does not like what the Trump administration did in DC. But what can she do? She can't block them from doing anything. And if they're getting criminals, they have to get criminals. This idea that a Democratic mayor or whatnot would not work with them to deal with the criminals, or better yet, continue to do what we've always been doing in this country with more support or more backing and whatnot because of this administration, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. So it's like you trying to pull this card here as like a win. See, Democrats even understand. Fuck off. We're not going to stop you from actually addressing crime, but we can also call out the fact that you are attacking American civilians and that you are fucking over the homeless people specifically in DC. They're being detained, not put into like rehabilitatory homes that they need. So there's that. Alrighty, more bullshit from her. Also, really quickly, I'm seeing some nonsense over on the YouTube side. Like, I'm seeing some absolute nonsense over on the YouTube side. Friendly reminder. There's a call-in number on the screen that you can call in and you can express your grievances. You can ask your questions. You keyboard warriors need to find somewhere else to go because every single mod over there will shut you the fuck up. The whole purpose of that call-in line so you can speak to me, not cry in the comments. Okay, back to Pam Bondi here.
When your constituents call 911, they don't ask for political views of the responding officer. They ask for help. I have federal agents in each and every one of your districts.
Why does she tell Trump this? Why doesn't she tell Trump this? That justice supersedes party when he's making party politics when it comes to addressing crime, helping Americans, affordability. Why doesn't she tell Trump this? She's telling Democrats, people who've been standing on these principles for generations, all the shit that we've been doing and that we already know. Just fucking rambling.
Districts. They're here to help, and I am here to help. Many cities and states have worked with us and taken advantage of our federal support. Some have not. Meanwhile, a few elected officials have declared that they are, quote, at war with the federal government and encouraged widespread obstruction of law enforcement.
Where?
This has resulted in avoidable clashes on the streets, as you've all seen. We've seen rioters storming a Christian church. Citizens and law enforcement officers have both been endangered by
Rioters storming a Christian church? Rioters storming a Christian church. I'm curious. I already know what this is, but I'm curious. I'm curious.
We're going to show you 13 mind-blowing use cases for creators using the new
I
AI
hate
Workspace
AI
2.0
so
from
fucking much.
GenSpark.
But first, we turn to Minnesota, where a Sunday church service turned into a
What the fuck is First Post, and is it in the US?
shouting match. Protesters stormed the altar and accused a pastor of working with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. And now what happened inside this Minnesota church has triggered a Justice Department investigation. The disruption occurred at the city's church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Families with children were gathered inside for prayer, but a group of anti-ICE protesters barged into the church mid-service.
I know this guy. What was his name again? David Eastwood? I heard stuff about him. Hold on. Trans service. David Eastwood about funds. 25 years old with national about Bible teaching. His better what's our 20 we can haze on prints. Yeah, I forgot what the allegation was specifically. Well, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. Anyway.
Why are you not at Whipple protesting? Why are you not standing up with your Latino and Somali community? House of the devil.
The funny part about these videos is while they're sitting this, you got people with their hands in the air praying. I'm curious as to what they're praying for. This is what Don Lemon was arrested for covering? Yeah, I know that much. I'm curious what they're praying for specifically. Dear Jesus, got these loud liberal leftist demon rat coming in here, disrupting the flow of God and disrupting the peace. I pray you kill them all. Kill them all like the dirty demon rat they deserve. These fuckers pray crazy shit. They pray crazy shit. It's staged? I don't know if it's staged or not. I have no idea if it's staged or not. But they're saying some crazy shit. Absolutely crazy shit. All right, back to Pam Bondi.
reckless rhetoric. We have made dozens of arrests.
Oh yeah, at this point I wanted to point out too, reckless rhetoric is now something that the DOJ cares about.
In and around Minneapolis so far, and many of them could have been avoided by simple compliance with federal law.
Obey or die.
Of course, our efforts reach beyond our urban centers. We are striking crucial blows against terrorist organizations such as MS-13, TDA, the Sinaloa Cartel, and Antifa. And as we sit here, I think you've seen the news this morning. The news is reporting that cartel drones are being shot down by our military. That's what we all should care about right now, protecting America. As we seek to dismantle...
Isn't this in relation to the reports where I think it was over here in Texas, we had an airbase shut down, what was it, near San Antonio? Because it was like JD Vance up to, no, not JD Vance, Hex set up to some bullshit. Like they were shooting down Valentine's balloons because they thought they were Terrence Jones. El Paso, thank you. They were balloons. Did she really just say this at this fucking hearing? Over some goddamn balloons?
These drug trafficking networks.
What's going on, Fax? Good to see you.
In 2025, our DEA agents seized more than 47 million fentanyl pills and more than 9,800 total kilos of fentanyl. That represents 369 million potentially deadly doses that can kill Americans. Meanwhile, our attorneys are fighting for President Trump's agenda in courtrooms across this country. This administration has been sued 627 times. We've fought through a nonstop flood of bad faith temporary restraining orders from liberal activist judges across this country. America has never...
Hey guys, you want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny? We got to get back to streaming these hearings again. Because one thing I hate about them is that the Democrats in the room, maybe they can't, I don't know. They're not like fact checking things on the fly. A lot of them do it off the top of their head, but like I wish we had fact checkers in these rooms and more people rebut every single thing that they say. So whenever I watch Senate hearings, I like to Google the things that are being said. And you know that 47 million number of pills that they seized? Record breaking, right? Amazing, right? Notice how earlier in the live she loved to make comparisons to the year-over-year 2024 stuff when it looked good to her. Guess how much we seized in 2024? You guys want to take a wild guess as to how much we seized in 2024? I saw Dan stream about it. Yeah, Dan's live too damn late, bro. He needs to get live earlier. 55 million. Over 55 million in 2024. Over 55 million, y'all. Crazy. Crazy. How did the week on crime Biden administration seize 8 million more than you? But she didn't compare that to the year over year, right? We didn't like that one. Just a fun fact.
Seen this level of coordinated judicial opposition towards a presidential administration. It is not only an unlawful attack on the executive branch's authority, but a serious attack on the democratic process. In spite of this unprecedented judicial activism, we've attained 24 favorable rulings at the U.S. Supreme Court.
And?
Their emergency docket and even more to come. We've done so while ending the weaponization of the prior administration by...
You didn't weaponize shit. Friendly reminder, one of those favorable rulings was racial profiling. Congratulations, you're fucking racist.
Dropping FACE Act prosecutions, exposing the Arctic frost scandal via congressional disclosure, thank you, Chairman, and restoring one tier of justice in this country. To address the Epstein files, more than 500 attorneys and reviewers spent thousands of hours painstakingly reviewing millions of pages to comply with Congress's law. We've released more than 3 million pages, including 180,000 images,
redacted ass pages,
to the public,
images of his home that mean nothing.
Our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims.
But you didn't.
If you brought us a victim's name,
but you didn't.
That was inadvertently released, we immediately redacted it. All
you failed and got called out.
You know, are invited to visit DOJ to see for yourselves.
The same redacted files.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Epstein survivors who are here today.
Fuck off.
I'm a career prosecutor.
A bad one.
Despite what the ranking member said, I have spent my entire career fighting for victims, and I will continue to do so. I am deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster. If you have any information to share with law enforcement,
Shut up. Guys, continue to tap the screen. Continue to tap the screen. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday at 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Make sure that you guys are sending your daily heartbeats upon doing so as well. We have about 81 more of these little friendship necklace gifts thing there. Please feel free to knock that out, those of you who can. Share out the live, repost it, add it to your story. We're only going to be live for a couple more minutes. I think Erica's scheduled to go live in about 3, but she's going to be late. Let's keep it about 50. She's going to be late. So do me a favor. Let's get the likes up to 300K before she goes live. Let's do that as soon as possible because that's what I want to end on. Get the likes up to 300K. Tap the screen as much as you can before she starts her live because then we're going to end and we're going to give her a raid. We're just going to be watching this in the meantime, between time. Links in the bio, the best way to support the platform, whether it's following me on the other social media platforms or subscribing, joining the Discord community, getting yourself some merch off the merchandise shop, or donating directly to the links in the bio, whether it's because you want to send a message, you just like what we're talking about here. Best way to support the platform is going to be Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Cash App, Venmo, Hectorrtalks with 2 R's. PayPal, HectorPal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, send a super chat or a super sticker. Those of you on the Tube side, thank you. Welcome in. Hit the like stream on your way in. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe and turn on notification bells. And let's keep this thing going.
about anyone who has hurt you or abused you, the
I'm gonna speed
FBI
this
is
up
waiting to hear from you.
because no one cares. Shut up.
I want you to know that any accusations of criminal wrongdoing will be taken seriously and investigated. The Department of Justice is committed to holding criminals accountable to the fullest extent of the law. In 2025, the FBI arrested over 1,700 child predators, a 10% increase from 2024. We also located
Now we go back to other years.
victims of
Cool.
child exploitation and shut down 3.8 million dark web pedophile accounts. 3.8 million. So please, if you have information to share that needs to be investigated, contact the FBI. Today, I look forward to discussing further our shared obligation to protect the American people, uphold the rule of law, and keep this nation safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Attorney General. The Chair now, we now proceed on the 5-minute rule. The Chair recognizes the gentleman from California for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam General, thank you for your extensive remarks, particularly on your continued investigation of those responsible over the years in the Epstein debacle. Obviously, you have an amazingly full docket between civil rights, between criminal and crime, and doing so, as the chairman said, at a time in which both you and the president are under attack, and our ICE agents and FBI and others are under attack when they try to enforce the law. I personally want to apologize for those who would embolden, support, or even stand with those lawbreakers that sit on this and other daises here in Congress. My job.
I don't want to get
generally
on
is talk about
to
ethics.
actual patriots doing their job. Give me a second.
And jacked and
Let's move on to some patriots doing their damn jobs. What the fuck was that?
To be part of that, and thank you for highlighting that, Congressman.
Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from Washington is recognized.
I'll slow it down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Attorney General Bondi, right here. We are joined in this room by some of the thousands of survivors from Jeffrey Epstein's horrific sex trafficking ring. They have shown such incredible courage in speaking out, in demanding accountability to bring the predators and pedophiles to justice. The Epstein Files Transparency Act required your Department of Justice to disclose the perpetrators connected with Epstein's criminal activities and to redact the information of survivors to protect their identities. Let me show you what actually happened. First, in violation of the law, your department has shown a pattern of redacting the names of powerful predators. Here behind me is one example of an email from Epstein to a man whose name was redacted. The email reads, quote, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video." Only after members of Congress demanded that we see the unredacted files did the world learn the name of this individual, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the chairman and CEO of a company that had financial ties to President Trump's business and personal ties to Trump's advisor, Steve Bannon.
Cool.
Second, the survivors were not similarly protected, also in violation of the law. Here is another email titled Epstein Victim List. We have blurred the names of the survivors for their protection, but your Department of Justice initially released this list of 32 survivors' names with only one name redacted, along with numerous files that disclose not only the names, the emails, and the addresses of survivors, but also nude photographs.
Addresses
and
is
even
crazy.
the identities of
Photos
Jane
is crazy.
Does, who had been protected for decades until your department released their names. Survivors are now telling us that their families are finding out for the first time that they were trafficked by Epstein. In their words, quote, "This release does not provide closure. It feels like a deliberate attempt to intimidate survivors, punish those who came forward, and reinforce the same culture of secrecy that allowed Epstein's crimes to continue for decades." To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi.
Really quickly, thank you, Daddy-O, for this. I'm going to pull up this article. I'm going to pull up this article in reference to the France and Germany talking point. Viral claims in France and Germany release unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files are false. DOJ records remain redacted, seen fully only by some lawmakers. I don't like that says X there. Claims viral on social media that France and Germany have released the full and unredacted version of the files related to the U.S. Department of Justice probe into the late convicted, however, the claim is false. The unredacted files have not been released. So far, the DOJ has released over 3 million pages of documents. Files on the website remain redacted, while the unredacted files were allowed to be viewed by some lawmakers in the House Oversight Committee. Claim about that. The claim about France and Germany releasing the unredacted files surfaced amid Pam Bondi's claims. For instance, here's a TikTok video where the user falsely claims that Germany and Trump released the Epstein files. Fucking tickety-tock. Ethical American. Let's see what it... Snopes, the fact-checking website, tracked down the earlier posts on other countries releasing the Epstein files to a February 5th post on Facebook. Those posts claimed that the files were released by other countries. Some posts were more specific and went on to claim that France and later Germany released the files. Posts are misleading and, of course, factually incorrect. Gotcha. All right. So it's a load of crap. Because I was very interested in how they could have possibly done that. And how that would have, when they have to hack our shit, couldn't we prosecute them for that? Not that we wouldn't deserve it. That was weird. Yeah, just in case anyone didn't know, the next time you hear that shit, it's bull. 50K more likes, guys. Double tap the screen. Erica will be live in a couple minutes. I want to be at 300K before we rate her. Double tap the screen. Show the algo you want to be here. And I know I have my super tappers in here. To your to your tired fingers, I don't know. One last push. And then I'm about to bully y'all in Erica's live to tap some more. All right, here we go.
You apologize to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi,
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice.
Accountability, right?
That it has done.
Accountability, right?
Survivors who are
come on, Pam Bondi.
Right
take a little
behind
bit.
You and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members
Merrick
get to ask
Garland.
the questions. The witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't
It is
like the
my
answer.
time.
So,
Mr. Chairman,
Why
I have asked
didn't
a
she
question.
ask Merrick Garland this?
I am
Twice when
reclaiming
he
my
sat in my
time, and when
chair.
I
will
reclaim
continue
my
What did
time,
Merrick Garland do?
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's
I'm
reclaimed her
not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17.
I am not going to apologize to the victims that my department exposed for her theatrics. Interesting. What did Merrick Garland have to apologize for? I don't remember Merrick Garland saying they're sitting on my desk for review right now. I don't remember Merrick Garland having any commitment to release anything that was still under a full investigation and couldn't be until it was unsealed late 2025. I don't remember any of that happening under Merrick Garland. What in the fuck would he have to apologize for? Interesting phrasing.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say this.
I'll direct it to
what
you.
a massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a
Mr.
question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness
I'm
is
not going to get
interrupting.
in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing
and
theatrics.
let me have my time.
The gentlelady from Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only
Regular
to
order.
then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Ghislaine Maxwell and transferred her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the cover-up, and I wish that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level.
That I agree with. I think it's Reishi May. I'm just gonna say May. I very much think they did a terrible job at prosecuting Donald Trump. 6,000%. They could have done more. I agree with that.
The chair now recognizes the chair.
And what you have done.
Time of the gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate that. We appreciate the thought. And I would argue the central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The gentleman from Arizona who knows something about securing the border is up for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. In 2022, Lafarge, which is a French cement company, pled guilty in U.S. federal court to participating in a criminal conspiracy with ISIS. That conspiracy contributed to the deaths of U.S. service members fighting in Syria during Operation Inherent Resolve. As part of the plea agreement, Lafarge was required to pay more than $775 million to DOJ's Asset Forfeiture Fund. In February 2025, my colleagues and I sent you a letter urging the department to review the petitions for remission submitted by the families of those fallen service members, including several of my constituents. The previous administration ignored these victims and our requests and left their petitions unresolved. My question for you on this particular issue is if you're willing to work to ensure those families that their petitions will be reviewed and brought to a resolution.
Congressman, we are aware of that, and we're committed to doing everything we can to support the victims and work with you. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, appreciate your answer. And now let's go to something that is also pressing that I've been working on for years, and this is the FISA Section 702 and Arctic frost. In January 2025, you testified before the U.S. Senate and agreed with Senator Lee that, quote, anytime an American citizen
Sorry. If anyone was confused on the Arctic frost, that was in regards to the 2020 election, the FBI probe into the Trump administration, their involvement in the insurrection in Jack Smith. That's what Arctic frost is. And that's the shit that they refused to let go of. The fraud was them going after the Trump administration for calling out the truth. Okay, here we go.
private communications are intercepted or stored, whether through incidental collection or otherwise, those communications should not be searched without some showing of probable cause, close quote. You still hold that view today, I assume?
Yes.
And during the most recent FISA reauthorization, I offered an amendment to establish a clear warrant requirement for searches of Americans' data while preserving every publicly cited operational exception, including emergencies, defensive queries, cybersecurity threats, And my intent was to ensure the Department of Justice could continue to keep Americans safe while also ending warrantless searches of U.S. persons' data. Are there any additional circumstances or exceptions that you believe must be included to ensure DOJ can
Now you want to talk about warrants, and you guys are
effectively while
weaponizing
still,
administrative warrants over
protecting
judicial.
American citizens' data and privacy?
Yeah, Congressman, we are committed to working with Congress to uncover weaponization and other misconduct by Jack Smith, by others, Arctic Frost, everything that happened under the past administration. And
Can't stand these
we are
people.
committed to working with you on that. And we are working with Chairman Jordan, with the House Intel, with all of our my fellow cabinet members on resolving that issue.
Well, thank you, and I'm glad you brought up Arctic frost, because Section 702 was used in the Arctic frost investigation.
It was.
And information derived was used by Special Counsel Jack Smith. And my question has always been, and no one's been able to answer this, is what was the legal predicate for using a foreign intelligence authority in the Arctic frost investigation? Have you been able to ascertain any legal predicate?
Congressman, what I can tell you today is that has been referred to my office. I can't discuss anything regarding that because it is very active and ongoing.
And you probably can't answer this one either, but I really want to know if Section 702 queries related to that matter involved members of Congress, which we know at some level it did.
Hold on.
Congressional staff, which we know at some level did. We've heard that journalists or other...
Shut up. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, Section 702, is reauthorized for one through April 20th. Warrantless surveillance of non-U.S. persons located outside the U.S. to gather foreign intelligence. So hold on. Was he saying that this was used on Americans? Because that wouldn't be the function of this. It would be for non-U.S. persons outside of the U.S. And the foreign intelligence could then be used. What? Talking about non-U.S. person that looks outside the United States.
God bless you.
Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court approves annual certification procedure rather than individual warrants for each target. What the fuck is this complaint? What exactly is his complaint? Hold on. Did I miss something? 43.
Special Counsel Jack Smith.
God bless you.
And my question has always been, and no one's been able to answer this, is what was the legal purchase of Americans' data while preserving every publicly cited operational exception, including emergencies, defensive queries, cybersecurity threats? And my intent was to ensure the Department of Justice could continue to keep Americans safe while also ending warrantless searches of U.S. persons' data. Are there any additional circumstances or exceptions that you believe must be included to ensure DOJ can continue to operate effectively while still protecting American citizens' data and privacy?
Yeah, Congressman, we are committed to working with Congress to uncover weaponization.
Is he falsely applying Section 702 to this other shit?
By others, Arctic frost, everything that happened under the past administration. And we are committed to working with you on that. And we are working with Chairman Jordan, with the House Intel, with all of our my fellow cabinet members on resolving that issue.
19K more taps.
Thank you. And I'm glad you brought up Arctic frost, because Section 702 was used in the Arctic frost investigation.
It was.
And information derived was used by Special Counsel Jack Smith.
For?
What the fuck? Always been, and no one's been able to answer this, is what was the legal predicate for using a foreign intelligence authority in the Arctic frost investigation? Have you been able to ascertain?
What was it used for? What was it used for? We know that Russian intelligence was involved in the 2020 election, Russian interference specifically. If the investigation utilized Section 702 of FISA, however the fuck you want to pronounce it, in regards to those foreign entities that would have been involved in the Arctic frost investigation and any tie they could have made to Trump, where's the illegality of that? He's just saying shit. What the fuck is the issue? Gotta get fucking fact checkers in these rooms. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous.
Congressman, what I can tell you today is that has been referred to my office.
And then she can't even answer the question. Because he's trying to say it was illegal. And then she can't even say, yes, it was. This is why. We can't speak on it. We're having another department review it. What the fuck, dude?
Can't discuss anything regarding that because it is very active and ongoing.
And you probably can't answer this one either, but I really want to know if Section 702 queries related to that matter involved members of Congress, which we know at some level it did.
How do we know that?
Which we know at some level did. We've heard that journalists or other U.S. persons not suspecting of acting as foreign agents were also caught up in that. Can you answer? Wait
a goddamn second. Wait a goddamn second. Okay. If members of Congress would then be having conversations and engaging with these foreign entities that Section 702 is allowed to gather intelligence on, that would be information that we can then use in these other cases, particularly under Arctic frost. Section 702 can collect the information. It can be referred to several other departments, which to my knowledge it was, for the full investigation into the U.S.-based persons. Am I missing something? The correlation would be the foreign intelligence they would have been involved with, not them being U.S. congressmen and women themselves. Wait for the high pitch, what the fuck? Like, what? This is like premium gaslighting.
Just identified.
It is a very active pending investigation within my office.
You can't answer shit about fuck.
Many members of Congress.
You can't answer shit about fuck.
Stated that their phones were part of Arctic frost. We are well aware of that, and we are taking this very seriously, and this is a very active investigation. And I would keep going and say, if any member of the Democrat Party, if any of them, if that had happened to them, we would take that just as serious as we do. And they should be jumping up and down, screaming, supporting you and what you want to do.
You were investigated.
Because this should be a bipartisan issue.
You were investigated.
Well, I hope it is a bipartisan issue.
Criminals were investigated. People alleged in foreign intelligence and other things were investigated.
I'm sure fall into the same.
Almost at 300K. Is Erica live yet? Let me see.
But that's this. How many such queries were actually conducted overall? This is outside Arctic frost. In the prior year by the FBI or other intelligence community, and particularly, we really need to know what were the legal standards applied? Did they use probable cause? Did they use reasonable articulable suspicion? Or did they have no individualized suspicion and just were gathering up information? And that's beyond.
Almost there. Let's tap so we can raid Erica.
Arctic frost. I don't expect you to have that information today, but if you can help get that information so we can understand the extensive nature of this continued misuse of 702, it would be very particularly helpful.
And it was extensive, yes, Congressman.
Shut the fuck up. You can't say it was extensive when you couldn't answer the previous questions. You couldn't answer the previous questions on the corruption. What the fuck are you talking about?
I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record.
Ooh, here we go. Let's go. Let's go, Crockett.
Quickly rescinds 10-day flights restriction. This was published by the Texas Tribune on February 11th, 2026, and it says it was because of an impasse with the DOD over the use of unmanned military aircraft.
I want to go back. What was I just screaming about earlier? It's like, where the fuck are the people going to rebut the stupid shit that they're saying in there? She mentioned the planes and the attacks and blah, blah, blah. Crockett said, I got you. This is why we need Jasmine Crockett in the Senate. If you're here in Texas and you're not voting for Jasmine Crockett, fuck you, okay? Vote for Jasmine Crockett.
Not triggered by Mexican cartel drones.
Without objection.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I didn't hear back about the second round of questions. I assume that's not happening. I just want to be able to assure the members, certainly on my side, if not both sides.
That's not a point of order.
No, that every member will get 5 minutes with the witness. Will there be 5 minutes for each?
Yeah, you get 5 minutes. Yeah.
With the witness. Okay, very good.
Yeah. Okay. And are you up next? Gentleman from New York is recognized.
ChatGPT, can I make money on Airbnb with...
That's fine. W. Jasmine Crockett, we're at 300K likes. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and raid Erica. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate that. Seriously, last couple lives have been, a funny. So I just wanted to do something that was a little bit more toned down where I wasn't screaming, at least until we watched this stupid thing. Big W to you guys. Big W to you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. We should be live to... we may not be live tomorrow. I may just co-host with Erica tomorrow because I got to do some deep cleaning. Or we'll see. If I get it done early enough, we'll see. Maybe you'll see me tomorrow. If not, definitely you will see me on Erica's live. I appreciate everyone for being here. Obviously, you guys know what to do. Hit that follow button if you're not following me already. Check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support. And we're going to go ahead and raid Erica. Let me put her username up just in case some of you are new. Actually, hold on. I'm stupid. Hold on. I'm stupid. Let me put this back up because I literally just had it open on TikTok Live. Literally just had it up on TikTok Live. Here we go. Where's Erica? Why the fuck is it pushing Erica down on TikTok? That's some bullshit. Okay, hold on. Let me put this back up. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and... Oh, you can't see that. I was just going to put up her live with the username, but it's kind of small. Give me a second. I'm going to zoom it for everyone. A lot of you guys know who she is, though, so it should be fine. There you go. Okay, here we go. So, we're going to go and do an Erica raid. Ooh, wait, she's live on YouTube, so I can redirect. Hold on, YouTube. I'm going to redirect. What's the name of her live again? What is the name of her live stream, guys? So I know how to find it. Let me do it. How does she tell me to do this again? Content. Live. Edit. Customization. Redirect. Search for you. Aha! Here we go. Okay. Anyone. Someone. Sorry. Dance. Bam. Perfect. YouTube, the second we end the stream, is going to take you to Erica's live. So you guys are good there. As for the rest of you, there you go. See that username up there? Erica_Shante. Erica_Shante. We're going to do a slightly different raid. I need you to say something slightly different, okay? We're going to go and show Erica some love and support. We're going to give her a raid. I'll get up on the panel in a bit. When you guys go in there, I need you to say banging hair raid, okay? Banging hair raid. Do it for one of two reasons. One, let her know the hair is fucking banging and the love and support is coming from me. And two, to stroke my ego. Erica raid, say banging hair raid. Erica_Shante. I will see you guys over there. Thank you guys so much for the stream. Deuces. Banging hair raid. All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone on the YouTube side for, I can't fucking speak English right now. Thank you, YouTube side, for coming in. I appreciate every last one of you. I will catch y'all in the next stream. Again, it may be tomorrow, it may not. If not, definitely Tuesday, or you'll see me on Erica's live. Deuces, everyone else. Make sure when you get to Erica's stream, when I hit that end button, bangin' hair raid.